Hello, hello, and welcome to the Sisyphus experience. We honestly have two different videos that may be shown depending on what other guests get into the back room. But let me go ahead and bring in the first one.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Hello, Austin.
Hey, big show. It's so good to be here.
It has been 2 weeks since the last time that I streamed. The last time was
I don't think I was here.
No, you were not, because I was doing it with Noble Commando and Wise Wolf. We were going over.
Have you replaced me? Don't replace me. I'm the co-host now. I've successfully taken over the podcast co-host slot.
You have. But the reason that we were streaming is we were getting our thoughts out on Netflix's terrible, terrible series called Yasuke.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. About how it was like based on a historical event and then futurized and then butchered. I think that's the easiest way to say it. Yeah, you went in pretty good detail last time I saw you about it. That at least enough detail for me to be like, well, yeah, that's dumb. But yeah, it wouldn't have made sense for me to be there because I would have just been asking questions about, wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
I never saw it.
The three of us watched the entire thing together, just so that way we were all on the same page and we were getting all the same information. And then one day on a Saturday morning, we all got together and we streamed a video of us talking about it.
Yeah, I bet that was great for anyone interested. You should definitely check out that video. And I should probably actually check out the video because I am interested. Because I'm assuming you guys explain like the plot and everything so that even if I haven't watched it, I'd be able to watch the video and get an idea of what the show is about and then what all the problems are. Okay, good. Yes. Yeah, perfect.
We explained the plot, which is very, very loose. And then we go into detail on each part that we had issues with. Most of it being episode by episode.
All right, that's good. It sounds like a great stream, and I think people should check that out. And I will check it out in the future as well. I've been recording on the Bear Thing show. We just released an episode this past Thursday about people zoos or human zoos or whatever they're called, which is a terrible thing to find out about. They were banned in the 1914. They were banned by the U.S. government, and it wasn't until 1950 that the UN basically took action to shut it down in any other country that was doing it. But it was happening across the globe. Started in France. Who would have thought, right? Started in France. Of course, the French doing what they do best.
Nobody likes the French.
Yeah, exactly. No, nobody likes the French. Did you know that Britain has beat France in like 31 wars?
Yeah, but somehow France has the most military conflict wins.
Oh, yeah, that was back whenever they were the naval power. But then as soon as England got naval power, it was over. Then it was just losing streak after losing. It's loss after loss. Haven't been able to recover from it. But, you know.
Yeah. Did you?
They also make terrible food. No, I don't think we're going to have another guest. If we do, it'll be sometime between now and 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we should just get started on the video we had planned. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, there is. I think that we actually have it in the plans, don't we? Technically, that we're gonna watch Cowboy Bebop because you and I love it, and Jam Sully's never seen it, and so we were gonna do. I assumed watch together so that we could all watch it at the same time and watch through Cowboy Bebop, and then at the end we should definitely do our take on it.
Do we want to do both the Japanese and the English dubs, because if we do, there's actually contextual difference between both.
Yeah, I definitely preferred the Japanese version, but I've seen it in both. I don't know if Jam Sully will be able to watch it both. I feel like once he watches it once, he'll be like, nah, I'm going to need a break before I ever watch this again. Where I watched it Japanese and then immediately turned around and watched it in English because that was how much I loved it.
You know what I have to say to Jam Sully about that?
No, I don't.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Yeah. Yeah, you
It's
can feel
so
that
good
way.
to watch over and over. Has he seen Samurai Champloo?
I haven't seen Samurai Champloo. I don't know if he has.
You're missing out.
Same people, right? It's same studio or whatever. Same
I
writer.
don't think so. I don't
No?
think so. No.
But then there's the episode where they say, "No, I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it. Never mind." I thought there was references to it.
Hold on.
I'll put it that way. I thought there was references in Cowboy Bebop to Samurai Champloo.
Samurai Champloo was. Dog. I know you're needy, but please go lay down.
Dude, no, I'm not gonna lay down, and I'm not needy.
No, not you. The great.
You said dog.
Yeah, I meant literal dog.
Yo, what up, cat? Cool cat.
Ow.
Ah, dude, next time we should open up with a jazz song. I know a really good jazz song called Calling All Cats. It's great.
Oh?
It's one of my favorite jazz songs ever. It is freeform jazz. So some people wouldn't really be into it. Kind of harder to get into. But yeah, Calling All Cats, man. That's a good song.
I'm looking at it now. Studio that did Cowboy Bebop was Sunrise, and then Samurai Champloo was Manglobe.
Okay, is it the same writer though?
Nope.
Chance? No. Okay. No, I don't know. It definitely seemed like there was some references to it.
Same director.
Maybe maybe that's why, because it's very limited. I'm not going to spoil anything, and because we're going to watch it and talk about it.
Yep.
But I was positive there was some sort of connection, because there's a couple things that happened. It's in one specific episode. It's not throughout the series that I thought there was references, but there was one episode in particular that I was like, I'm pretty sure they're referencing that. And if it's the same director, maybe that's why there was one episode that had references to it. That might, you know what I mean? Like that might have just been like a shout out to the fact that he worked on both. Because it wasn't throughout the series. It was, like I said, it was just one episode.
Yeah, it was Shinichiro Watanabe was the director.
That's a good name. You sure it wasn't Sing Sang Sung?
Did I stutter?
No, sorry. Sing Sang Sung. It's a callback to the episode of the Bear Thing show I recorded with Jam Sully. Yeah.
Long time ago or recently?
Technically, it was recent. Like I said, the episode came out on Thursday, and unfortunately, we weren't able to meet up for like a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. And so we recorded it the day before I uploaded it. So it was a recent joke as well as a recent episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and
let's get this started. Should I give a little bit of a here's who Jared Genesis is, or should we just get into it?
Please give me a rundown of who Jared Genesis is, because I have only seen this. This is all I've seen, is this picture.
Okay, well, Jared Genesis is a mid-30s. He's older now, but during this, he was in his mid-30s. He's lived with his parents his whole life. He can't hold down a job. He is currently shirtless because it's laundry week, because he literally wears one shirt for like 7 videos straight, and he uploaded daily, if I'm not mistaken, and then he'd change shirts. And so he'd go through his whole wardrobe, and then for like a week straight, he would just not have a shirt on for every video uploaded. We're in that period of his life, whatever week that is, that he has no clothes available. There's a lot to be said for the man if you just look at the back. Like there's a Shrek doll beside a bass guitar back there.
Is that Shrek or is that oh god, what is the name of the character from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Okay, yeah, no, it might be TMNT. Yeah, the pig dude.
Yeah,
you're right. It's definitely that, because he's a huge TMNT fan. He absolutely loves it. I don't think we get to see it in this video, but he has stapled or nailed into the wall a bunch of toys, TMNT toys, because he's a big fan of it. Over to his left.
I see one.
Yeah, there's like a huge collection.
Right
so like,
there.
yeah. Okay, yeah. But he's Power Rangers is like his favorite show. TMNT is probably his second favorite show. He really loves the Green Ranger until the time he got beat up by the student of the Green Ranger, and now he hates the Green Ranger. That's a pretty long story. To summarize, the Green Ranger opened up a dojo. He went to the dojo. The Green Ranger had, for his trial, had him fight one of his students. The student beat him up. The entire time the Green Ranger was telling him there's no reason you should be participating in martial arts. And so he's been mad at the Green Ranger ever since. What else do I say about this guy? Okay, so he yells at his parents on video constantly. He's convinced that he's a real man, even though he still lives with his family.
Hence why he's going to tell us what it means to be a real conservative.
Yeah, exactly. He's also solicited minors for sex on multiple occasions.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, he has a track record of like something approximating to 15 times that he's been caught doing being a pedophile. I don't think he's ever had sex with anyone underage, because I'm pretty sure he's still a virgin, but I don't know if that's the case. He's had 3, 4, maybe 5 YouTube channels, because every time people start catching on to his shenanigans, he just deletes his page and moves on. So he no longer uploads to this page, but there's another one that I'm pretty sure he's still on, but I haven't found it yet. So it's more mythological than anything, because he had Punky J for a while, and then he stopped using it and then moved over to Jared Genesis, and then from Jared Genesis he moved on to Genesis Savior, or Lord Genesis, I think was what it was, Lord Genesis, and then Lord Genesis he stopped using, and he's moved on to something else since then, and I haven't found it yet. But yeah, he's been prominent on the internet for a long time, but in a very subculture way of like, people find him and then we watch him as a case study of what it is to be completely insane.
All right, so with that rundown, let's see what he's got to say.
That's the most abridged version. That took me like 8 minutes. That's the most abridged version I can tell you of this man.
How's it going, guys? It's Jared Genesis here. So this is just my video on what I feel it means to be a conservative, because I feel like people have misconceptions, and some people, they group us all together and they don't realize you've got the old school and the neocons, which we'll get into.
Okay, let's stop right there. Yes.
No, there's more than that.
Yeah, there is more than that. But yes, it definitely is that conservatives all get pushed together. I believe Adam and Sitch have something called Adam's Law, which is that either party points at the most ridiculous version of the other party and says, all of you are like that extremist over there. And so Jared would be someone that someone that liberals could point at and be like, that's what a conservative is, especially since he titled it a real conservative, which this dude is not a conservative. He is definitely crazy. But I think that's Adam's law. The other thing I was going to say is I forgot to mention that he went through a stint where he was like extremely hyper religious Christian for maybe like a month. And so, yeah, he does that kind of stuff where he'll just all of a sudden be this one thing. And for like a month or two, he's like all about it. And then he just reverts back to normal. And this might be one of those videos where he thinks he's hyper conservative or something. You know what I mean?
What the hell?
Yeah,
have I
no,
got myself into?
The dude's crazy. The dude is absolutely crazy. I look forward to this 8-minute video.
Yeah. So there's definitely more than old school and neocon. There's also
Absolutely.
the populists. There's the
yeah, go on.
Anarcho-capitalist isn't really conservative.
No, it's not. That's more libertarian. That's libertarian.
Yeah. Conservative leans more into the authoritarian right. Though you can be a conservative and be a liberal.
Yeah. I agree. Because, like, I mean, just saying there's literally two types. Neocons are obviously terrible. I say obviously, and maybe I should explain that. Neocons are not what the Conservative Party was supposed to be. Neocons are definitely an extreme version of conservative, which is hyper authoritarian, like you were saying. But general conservatism, I would say, if you were just even if you were old school conservatism, then it would be more a religious fanatic. Fanatic's probably too strong of a word, but I'm just trying to make this easy to understand. But so you have the original conservative, which was more religious. You have neocon, which was more fascist. Then you have, I guess, just typical conservatives would be the way to put it, which is the small government, the conservatives that just want little government, small government conservatives. Then you have the conservatives that lean libertarian, or that are libertarian that lean conservative, where it is more free trade is important to you, with government having some say in what's going on. The point being that you're right. There's more than two. There's at least 6 or 8 different types of conservative. It's the same with both sides, though. I'm not going to say that it's just conservatives. Even if you start going left and progressive and liberal, there's definitely multiple types of all of that. Both parties get easily clumped together.
Yeah, oh boy, this is gonna be a ride.
By the end of the video, we'll see what a real conservative is, though.
Oh god.
Because remember, he's already set 2. He said there's didn't he just say like old school conservative, and there's the neocons, and then he's going to tell us what a real conservative is. So I'm looking forward to what a real, because maybe I'll line up with that politically. Maybe I'm not a libertarian. Maybe I'm a real conservative.
This is just what being a conservative means to me.
Yeah, so this is the Jared Genesis
OCD.
conservative.
I'm just kidding, but
oh, hold on.
No,
we got to stop right there. Being OCD. Let's look at the state of the room.
Yeah.
OCD.
No, dude, you're not OCD.
You are not OCD, sir. You closed a drawer, and said OCD. No, sir. This is not. You don't even have a bed. He has a mat. It's like a mat. I don't even think it's a futon. It's like literally a mat, probably resting on a pile of trash.
Yeah,
oh my goodness! Oh, hey, he's got a drum set.
That room is a mess.
He's got a bass. He's got a drum set. Yeah, bass, drum set. Yeah. There's a cup there. I don't know what that tower is that's on top. He's got multiple pictures posted on his dresser. There's a couple bins. I'm really curious what that statue in the top right is. Oh, and there's a PayPal mask. Okay, we could totally play I Spy.
Yeah.
One window has a curtain, the other does not. It's just nighttime. Because that's totally like some tree branches out there or something.
I hate the state of his room. I hate that he's not wearing a fucking shirt.
Yeah, no, he's OCD, bro. He's OCD.
Like in the South, like I'm talking like more the deep South, not big cities, but in the South, everybody's old school red. There's
Wrong.
Wait, was that his video chopping up,
Wrong.
or was that
Yeah.
me? Oh, okay, so his video had a bunch of weird glitches all of a sudden. Okay, cool.
So he said in the deep South.
Deep South.
You and I are from the deep South, by the way.
Are we? Are we deep South?
Yes.
Okay. I thought we were Southeast.
No, we are deep South.
Okay. Is Florida deep South or is Florida East?
Florida is South, but Central Florida is more deep South.
Okay, I'm just curious. Yeah. Okay, so
it just varies.
We're
on
deep
the
South.
locale.
Okay. All right. So we're deep South. I wasn't sure about that.
Because of the areas that we live in.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. All right. So we're in the deep South, and apparently we're all old school conservative here.
He is wrong.
Old red. We're all a bunch of old reds. No, there's definitely a lot of debate between my state, your state, South Carolina, North Carolina. There is. We'll just if those four, we can just use those four because I don't know if Mississippi, Louisiana, are those deep South as well? Mississippi, Louisiana.
Yes.
Okay.
Deep South just
Virginia?
has to do with locale.
Is Virginia deep South?
No.
Okay. All right. Then yeah. Okay, I got it. Okay. Well, between the 6 states, 5 states: Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Mississippi, Louisiana. If that's deep South, between those 6 states, you can literally go town to town and get entirely different opinions, and government ran entirely different.
Yep. But
we are not homogenous.
The town that I live in is currently going through a change where it's much more libertarian than
that's nice.
Conservative.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because right now we are in the midst of trying to change some of our gun laws at the state level, where we don't have to have a permit to have constitutional carry.
Yeah, my state just passed constitutional carry. I think July 1st.
We also have, like, if you go one county over, which is still a red county, you get into the mess of bureaucracy, messing with how you can put your house on your land and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is completely different down here.
Right, absolutely. And I would assume it's the same way across the U.S.
It is.
It's not
different. Every county is different.
Right, because you could generalize and say, well, that's a red state, that's a blue state. But when you break it down county by county and then city by city, it's not the same.
No.
Yeah, it's not the same. Because like there's certain parts of South Carolina that are very blue, and parts of North Carolina that are blue, parts of Georgia that are blue, parts of Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana. But then, like, generally speaking, when it comes to the, I guess, state or governor level, it's more red. But it's not the, like, in my town, which is actually I think things have been changing slightly over the last year. I've been paying attention to the local paper and things have been changing. But generally speaking, the town that I live in is red. But there's plenty of blue. There's plenty of people that are blue, but the majority of them are red. But there's plenty of blue, and I talk to them frequently, and we have interesting conversations that don't go anywhere. But we do talk. And we don't have animosity for each other. because unlike what the news would like to tell you, everyone's able to be friends whether or not they agree on things. The news likes to say there's this huge divide between all the parties and races, and we're in the midst of this. I think even Joe Biden said that we're like basically at a civil war. We're back in Civil War times and how everybody feels about each other. But in reality, when you sit down and talk to people that are around you, they're understanding. Like everyone, let bygones be bygones. Okay, we disagree on that. That doesn't matter because we still agree on these things. And or if we don't agree on these things, it's more or less like we still have fun together. So it doesn't matter that we disagree on these things.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
I have friends who have very different opinions on things than I do.
Oh, yeah.
And we still play video games together. We just don't bring up the topic.
Dude, I just remembered. So I talked to Bear Thing the other day, and I told him that we all took a political compass test, and
Yeah.
he was extremely thrilled to hear that all of us were on the libertarian side, because he's probably, I think you were the most libertarian.
Yes,
Like
I was the most.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were the most libertarian. Then I think I was the second, and then James was least libertarian out of the three of us.
Yep.
And I would think Bear Thing, I'd have to get him to take the test, but I would think Bear Thing is probably most libertarian. Like, of just everyone can just do whatever the crap they want. Like, there should be no government. So almost to the point of anarchy, but I don't know if he's an anarchist. But yeah, he was. Whenever I told him that, he was just like, "Good."
Yeah,
that's the best.
and
That's the best way to quote him. Just good.
so there's one thing that I've been trying to find because I was watching a video on Tim Pool mentioned it where there are 6 different pillars that the libertarians only have liberty in mind, like deep libertarian have liberty is the only thing they have in mind.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about when it came to like emotional and because like
Emotional liberty.
yeah, because like progressive liberals only have like 3 pillars, and most of them, and like those 3 pillars are really emotional based, where the general conservative has like 4 or 5 pillars. And no,
they have all 6.
Oh, they have all 6. So they have the emotional pillars as well as the essentially conservatives are both subjective and objective.
Yes,
would be the easiest way to put it. Where liberals are subjective, and then libertarians are just let me do whatever crap I want, get away, stop asking me questions.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. That is definitely right. That feels very accurate.
Because there's authority, there's liberty, there's emotion, there's I cannot remember the other 3.
I assume one has to do with like human rights.
I would assume so, yeah.
It might not be called liberty, that, but something in that.
Liberty falls into that.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I just feel like there'd be something that would be kind of close to human rights that would be something different. Because I mean, at this point, liberals are saying that the internet is a right. You know, healthcare is a right. Internet is a right. And it's like, wait, no, these things aren't rights. Rights are things that you're born into the world with as a naked baby. Okay, those are rights. Everything else is a commodity.
So,
or maybe commodity is not the right word. Commodity is probably not the right word.
I have found it. It's care, fairness, loyalty, authority, sanctity, and liberty.
Yeah, all those things are good. I don't know about.
And
I mean, yeah, even authority's good. But too much of it is bad. Too little of
Yes.
it's bad. Yeah, there has to be a balance. All of those things have to be balanced for life to be good.
Yeah, it turns out that people on the left value care, fairness, and liberty more than anything else. And
Care, fairness,
right,
liberty. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
the
Care,
right
fairness,
appeals
liberty.
to all six.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Right. For balance sake. And then libertarians, what? Liberty?
Liberty.
That's
That is
good.
it.
That's good. I like those libertarians. I know I lean very much libertarian and call myself a libertarian, but I'm just saying I like those libertarians. I don't like the Libertarian Party. You got to admit, this last
No.
election cycle, the Libertarian Party really pissed me off.
Look
And
out for 2024.
you think it'll be worse or better?
Oh, it'll be a lot better because I know somebody who's running.
Okay, because like JoJo, the nominee for president, not a big fan.
Yeah,
Personally,
no.
not a big fan. JoJo was actually not, maybe libertarian light, I guess, because if we're gonna say like hardcore libertarian is just liberty above all, then she was definitely not libertarian. She tweeted out that what was it? The tweet that she said was when I was like, maybe I don't line up with the libertarians, because she said something like, we don't just need to not be racist, we need to be anti-racist. And I was like, wait, how's that libertarian at all? Because you're now saying I have to do a thing. And that's, yeah, hello, dog. That's the opposite of libertarian, because libertarian is just leave me alone, don't make me do whatever. Like, let me just do what I do. And so for the candidate to be like, by the way, here's an action you have to take, it's like, whoa, you're not libertarian anymore. Like,
Yeah.
telling me to do a thing? No.
Yeah,
F
no,
you.
she definitely does not align with that. But I don't know what political party he's going to be a part of, if one at all. But apparently Adam Calhoun is going to be running in 2024.
Calhoun is a familiar name to me, but I don't know about Adam himself.
I will send you a couple of his videos later.
All right, word. Yeah. I remember I watched the Libertarian Party presidential debate, and the only one who I thought would actually be really good at it was a former judge, because he made the most reasonable argument of being like, I think basically during the debate, the thing he ran on was, we can't be crazy here, because if we just run purely on we're going to tear apart every single thing so that the American public has complete freedom, no one's going to vote for us. So what I'm going to do is whenever I get into office, I'm going to start implementing small changes over time to get to the point of complete freedom. And I'm like, that guy makes perfect sense. He's like, we can't just walk in and say we're abolishing the budget, and stuff like that, which is what everyone else was running on, was basically being like, if I get elected, I'll just completely put everything at zero and shut down the whole government. It's like, you're not going to win any votes that way. But the judge, I forget his name, but the dude that used to be a judge was like, no, I'm not going to go in there, and I'm just going to start making small changes, and then hopefully we can keep getting libertarians elected, which was a really smart plan of like, if you get me in there, I can start setting the groundwork, and we can start tearing this stuff apart, and we'll eventually get to the point that libertarians want, but it will be over multiple elections of multiple different presidents that are libertarian before it happens. And I'm like, yeah, that guy's reasonable. Yeah, we should vote for him. And then JoJo got the nominee and then said, hey, I'm requiring libertarians to take this action. And it's like, well, that's not libertarian at all.
Nope. Do not make it a mandate.
Right.
But
right. No matter which like, that's the thing, right? Is I understand the sentiment of what she said, but the important part is that you don't force anything. And what she was saying, because we'd have to actually pull up the tweet to get it exactly, but whenever I heard it, I was like, no, even though what you're saying is true, you don't say this must be done, because you're libertarian and you don't tell someone else what to do if you're libertarian. which really bleeds into anarchy pretty well. Of the you have no say over my choice, you can't make decisions for me, and that's libertarians are very much into that. I'm very much in. Maybe I'm not a libertarian. Maybe I'm an anarchist. I don't want to be an anarchist because I like the idea of a standing force to defend the country. But I really don't want people telling me what to do. Let me just do what I want to do. Let me stand or fall on my own accord. That's one of the reasons I'm against Medicare, Medicaid, whatever, Obamacare, all that stuff. Is because actually, if you go to the Bear Thing Show episode 1, which was like 3 hours long, I get into it about talking about the fact that it's like, look, because the defense argument that I heard was, you're not going to spend your money right. And I was like, well, if I don't spend my money right, then I deserve to be homeless on the street dying. Yep. Because that was my choice. Okay, it's my decisions. Let me suffer my consequences. I don't want someone else taking my hand and forcing me down a road. Like, let me just suffer the consequences of my actions, whether they be good or bad. Okay, that's my life. All right, give me the freedom to make bad decisions. What's wrong with that?
Let me see if I can.
Because it's while you're doing that, okay. So it's like freaking. I think it's either in 1984 or it's in Brave New World. It's one of those two books. But one of the characters says, "I want the right to be offended. I want the right to get hurt. I want the right to fail." And I'm with him on that. I forget which book it was from, but that character, I am totally with it. I think it was Joe the Savage. So I'm thinking it was Brave New World. But I'm with him. Like, let me do me, and if I fail, then I fail, and it shouldn't be anybody else's problem. It's my problem. There you go. There's no reason. And now, charity is a great solution. If someone wants to go out of their way to help me now that I've failed miserably and I'm homeless, awesome. Good on them. That's a good person. They have a good heart and good morals. It's not supposed to be mandated. You don't force someone to do something.
Sorry, I can't play a song because it's copywritten. So, I'm by myself now. Welp, until he gets back.
No such thing as, neocon or alt-right. All that stuff is just in the bigger cities.
No. That's alt-right. We don't really have a good definition for. What is alt-right, Austin?
Sorry about that. Alt-right?
Yeah, because he brought up alt-right.
Did I miss it?
Yeah, I was playing it because you dropped out, and I was like,
yeah, sorry.
Playing the video.
I hit the wrong button. That's my bad. Alt-right. Let's see. If I was going to describe the alt-right, I do think it is a thing. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's just a term that was coined by anti-conservatives or something, and it's not really a thing. Yes. See, yeah, socialist. That makes perfect sense, actually.
They say fascism is alt-right. Whenever you actually start reading into what fascism is, it's just another variant of socialism. Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's what World War II showed us, was that you had two versions of socialism. You had fascist and you had communist, and they fought each other, and fascism won, but then Western values beat it out entirely.
And thing is, people always are like, but the fascists hated the socialists. Yeah, they hated democratic socialists.
They hated, dude. No, you're probably right. I'm not trying to deny you, but they hated anyone that wasn't them. It's that simple. It's not even that. It wasn't even an ideology in the sense of like, our governments are different, so we don't like you. It was, you're not us, so we don't like you. The end.
Yeah. They also didn't like capitalists because they race and religion come down to it. But
That's why I like the game Paranoia so much. Is that the game Paranoia constantly preaches anti-communism, even though it's a communist structure that you're operating in the entire time, but you have to point out any communist around you because they're traitors to the system. But then it's also anti-capitalism as well, because capitalism is clearly bad because the system's communist, but communists are bad because they're against the system. And it's like it's such a great little but alt-right. I'm still thinking about what I would actually call an alt-right. Yeah. What were you gonna say there?
If you look at the political compass and you can point out where the fascists are, it's more around the center left and center right, high authoritarian.
Wait, what is?
Fascism.
Okay, it's center. It's mostly center, but what?
Left and right.
That would just make it. You can't be left and right.
No, there are fascists that have right-leaning views, and there are.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. There can be
fascists,
right-leaning fascists and left-leaning fascists. I was gonna say there's no way you
All
could
of them
have
are
a
still
political
socialists.
stance.
All of them are
Yes,
still socialists.
yeah, absolutely, 100%, 100%. But so I'm sitting here trying to understand what alt-right actually does mean, and I'm sitting here and I'm like alternative right. So, or does this mean like control alt? Control alt C or whatever.
If anything, I think it just means authoritarian right, and yeah, those people exist.
Alt-right, authoritarian. Yeah. Because I'm personally not sure how to describe it. I've heard the term alt-right. I've heard the thing is the most extreme version I've heard of alt-right is what the socialists call the Nazis. They say that Nazis were alt-right, and
They're wrong.
and I'm just not sure if that's correct. But if you're saying authoritarian right, then maybe that is kind of close to what the label means. Because I don't know what my translation of the label means. I've not really thought about it. Alt-right.
Because
I mean, alt-left is definitely Marxist. So what would so then alt-right's fascist, right?
you would think that, but there's more to it than just that. With the way fascism works is government control of the economy and of the businesses. But
Sounds like communism.
They put in their own people to run the businesses, and
Like communism.
if you screw up, they kick you out.
Like communism.
Yeah, and the only difference between communism did the same thing with getting rid of religious people and getting rid of certain races.
Like communism.
Yeah, so it all comes down to they're the same.
So the alt-left and the alt-right are the same thing.
Horseshoe theory.
Yes, horseshoe theory. Yep, that's right. Mm-hmm.
But let's get back to this video because I'm tired of seeing this man shirtless.
Old school motherfucking, deep red blooded conservatives is what you'll find in the deep south. I'm not from the deep south, but if I had to relate to what type of person, it would definitely be a redneck, if you want to call it that. But
I take offense at this.
I was about to say I'm insulted to call yourself Mr. Genesis a redneck when you're not even from the South, so you don't really even understand what that means. I am insulted. Do you know, Cyrac, what a redneck is? Like what that comes from?
Somebody that works hard in the sun all day to where their neck is sunburnt and red.
Exactly. Good man. We're both Southern, that's for sure. This man is not a redneck. He is pale and lives in his room.
Though my accent and your accent definitely do not show.
Yeah, no, they don't. But that's because we're world traveled.
I lived in California for 4 years, so yeah, my accent kind of dipped out. But as I've lived here longer, it's come back with certain words like pie and uh,
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I have a few words as well that whenever I say them, it's definitely clear where I'm from. And I know that to be true because I met some people from England and they immediately identified me as Southern. And I was like, how did you know that? Because most Southern people think that I'm Northern.
Yeah, because we're so desensitized to hearing each other's voices, it doesn't sound proper. Um, but whenever somebody from outside comes and hears us talk, then they can pick up on where you're from more easily.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, I can see that. The thing is though, I am offended at this dude saying he identifies as a redneck.
When he's definitely never worked a hard day in his life.
No, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. I don't know. But
You're right.
based on
He
his
can't keep a
current
job.
appearance, he is clearly not a redneck.
No, he is not a redneck. And redneck has its own stereotypes, and most of those stereotypes are true. Um,
Yeah. It depends on which stereotypes you're talking about, but yes, yeah, absolutely.
bonfires,
And
big trucks, guns.
yep, absolutely, yeah. All of that is very true stereotype.
The
I think
racism
though,
thing, definitely not a thing for most people.
no,
For
no, it's
most,
not.
for
Like I
most.
said, I've said this before on the show. I've only ever met two racists. In my life, I've only ever met two racists, and I'd like to ask Jam Sully how many he's met because I know he had an increase of the amount of racists he met when he was working at a gas station. Because a lot of people would come in that were shocked to see a black man behind the counter, and then, anyways, I don't know. Since I wasn't there firsthand, I don't really remember the stories he told me, but he definitely ran into a lot more racists. I feel like in the year he was
I'd want to
working at a
hear that
gas
from him.
station. Yeah, absolutely. Because I've only ever met two. And then the only reason I found out they were racist is because they were comfortable around me because I'm not technically white, but I think I might technically be white. I don't know how to put it. I guess I'm white. I don't know if I'm really white because most people that see me, they have to question if they haven't known me. Whenever I meet new people, a lot of them question what race I am or what ethnicity.
You have more Greek and Native American in you than anything.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of Native American in me. That's the thing.
You have more Native American than I do.
Right, yes, because my mom. Yeah, because you're from my father's side of the family.
Yep.
And my mom's side of the family has a lot more Native American. But they're Native American and German primarily. So I also have a lot of German in me.
I'm
yeah.
more German and Irish.
Yeah, and I have German, Irish, Native American, and I think there's one other, but I don't remember what it is offhand right now. But the point being that yes,
how many I have.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, that's the thing. We're American. We're mutts. It doesn't matter. We're all mutts.
Hello, Inquisitor. How are you doing?
Hi there. Welcome to the show. We're just talking about how Americans are mutts. What?
Matthias.
Either one's fine. I'm speaking on behalf of them. Either one's fine.
I talk to him a lot in the Discords.
So the point being of this pause is that we disagree that we, as more proper rednecks, disagree that this gentleman is a redneck. We can move on.
Yeah.
Just a good old Southern boy. How about that?
No, you're not.
Let's just keep going.
But to me, a conservative, like old school conservative, people think of like, okay, we're talking, big bankers. We're talking big business type people, like Donald Trump.
What?
No, hold on. Hold on. Jared. Oh, so you know who he is. He's an old enemy.
Oh, that's nice. Yes, this is me introducing Cyrac to the Jared.
But Donald Trump isn't old school conservative. He's populist.
Yeah, I think you're right. My argument to that Trump being an old school conservative is purely that until he ran for president, he was a Democrat.
Well, he flip flopped several times throughout his life.
Yeah, okay, fair point. So maybe you're right then. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he's a populist. Maybe I probably don't know enough about him. But the point being though is that saying he's an old school conservative is like, nah, definitely not. Definitely not, because he was a Democrat. And if you're going to talk old school conservative, any old school conservatives I know have been like conservative from birth.
Yeah, PragerU.
Yeah, PragerU. Yes, that's exactly. It's essentially someone who, from the point, an old school conservative is basically from the point that they started having political opinions, they identified as conservative and have stuck to it no matter what the party has done. And like that's why I'm not a conservative, is because my dad's a conservative and he raised me with those kind of like moral foundation. And then as time went on, I was like, I disagree with a lot of these things. So I'm like, I think libertarian actually makes more sense than conservative. But yeah, so I don't know, man. That's pretty great. Then saying bankers and all that stuff are conservative, wouldn't it be easier to say those people were capitalists if you're going to use the kind of terminology that we're talking about here? Because it doesn't matter what side of the fence you line up on to be a banker. It's more of just that you're into the system. Like to bring Vosh up, right?
Oh God.
Vosh is under the opinion that if you're living in a capitalist society, even as a socialist, you should take advantage of the entire system. So if you could become a banker to make a lot of money in order to push your agenda of being a socialist, that's perfectly acceptable. Even though morally that just doesn't make any sense at all. To be a socialist and then to have all of those beliefs, but then to become a banker and to take advantage of the capitalist system in order to gain as much money as possible to push your agenda, just morally seems apprehensible, which I think is something we'll discuss more if we discuss Vosh himself with a video.
That's going to be a weekend.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be more than one video. In order to cover one video of his, we don't have the time. But the point I'm making is I don't think that you can literally just say bankers and I forget the other thing he said now that I've been talking. Bankers, big business, conservative, flatline, the end. That's just how it is.
No,
that's who these people are.
Much more than that.
Yeah, it's too complicated.
You and I know a lot of old school conservatives. I know a few neocons, which I hate them. I don't like either side of the fence, honestly.
Right. Neither do I.
Not in the U.S. or overseas. It varies from person to person. There are some good people. That's
what I was basically about to say. Is I don't like either side of the fence when it comes to the power system, but when it comes to individuals who support it, it's definitely person to person. But once you get to the political level, or the politician level, I should say, then all of a sudden it's like, well, hold on now. I don't like either party because the media misrepresents them from both sides. They misrepresent each other. They misrepresent themselves. They're basically all liars. All politicians are liars. Everything is just a freaking, how do I get more people to vote for me? And I'm not going to actually follow through with it. And it doesn't really freaking matter because they all suck. But when it comes down to an individual person who says that I vote Democrat or I vote Republican, I'm like, oh, yeah, well, you could be a good person with good intentions and morals.
You can.
It's almost like we need more than two main parties, which I know we have more than two parties, but I'm just saying maybe we need more than two main parties.
We've been trying for years.
Yeah, I know the Green Party and the Libertarian Party have both been trying really hard to get in. I don't know, man. Just maybe we need a third party to be as well represented as red and blue. Maybe that would help, because maybe I'm under the impression that the majority of people, which I know is going to sound mean, the majority of the voting bloc.
There is two types of worse people: politicians and game journalists.
Yeah, those game journalists, man.
Oh, we don't want several parties. It's a mess in Brazil. Well, Brazil doesn't exist, remember? It's the Sea of Brazil. You're underwater.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a joke in the Discord.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Matthias is from Brazil, and
that's dope.
he constantly posts a picture, well, whenever it gets brought up, that Brazil doesn't exist, that it's the Sea of Brazil.
I only know
sank a long time ago.
Okay, that's interesting. Is that from the Navy map that was put out several years ago, where it was showing how the water lines were going to increase?
Not sure.
Isn't Brazil the highest point in South America? Wouldn't that mean all of South America was underwater? I know you have Chile.
He forgets about it.
Because I know Chile has really good, ski slopes and everything, but I'm pretty sure Brazil's the highest elevation in all of South America.
It is not the highest point, is what you're saying?
I mean, yeah, he's got to catch back up with us. Yeah, he's got to catch back up. The thing is, I know a couple people from Brazil, and everyone I've met is really dope. And then one of my buddies went to Brazil for a week and really enjoyed it. And actually,
the tourist areas.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Because I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, absolutely he did. I mean, he also learned to speak the language.
So a mixture of Portuguese and Spanish.
Yeah, something like that. His nickname became like El Frog. Is the frog, whatever that translates to. He was the frog in English. I don't really know why, but that was his name. El Sapo. That was his nickname. El Sapo. But yeah, good guy. And the people that I met from Brazil that came to live in America for a while, one of them came to live in America. I don't know what happened to him. The other one came to America and then started traveling to a whole bunch of different countries.
The Andes. The Andes Mountains are the highest point.
So is that in Chile? Because that would make sense. I think so. That would definitely make sense. Okay. I know Brazil, though.
Since I've looked at an actual topographical map.
I mean, same here. But I know Brazil is higher than the southern United States. I know that for a fact. But okay, so it might not be the highest point in South America, but it's definitely higher than where we are. So to think that if it was flooded, then wouldn't we be underwater? That's basically what I'm getting at.
It's what separates Chile from the rest of South America.
Oh, okay. And that's the highest mountains. All right, that's dope. Good to know. I love learning stuff, although I suck at geography. I'm pretty decent at history, but I'm awful at geography.
Chile, Peru, Bolivia, as Matthias says.
Yeah, Bolivia. Pretty sure Bolivia is what I'm talking about with the people that I met and where my buddy went. I'm pretty sure it was actually Bolivia.
West of Brazil, east of Chile.
Really?
Yep.
I thought, wow, see, like I told you, I'm bad at geography. I thought Bolivia was part of Brazil. Oh, no.
I only know this because I'm looking at a map.
Oh, no, I'm racist. I can't believe it. It turns out I'm racist because I thought Bolivia was Brazil. Oh, no.
No.
I've been playing too much Risk, which is based on a map from the 1700s.
But
I think
let's
we should continue the
on.
video. Yes, thank
Not
you.
what the Conservative Party always was. The neocons are what ruined the Conservative Party. They're the ones that gave us a bad name. Neoconservatives claim to
Sure.
be about family. Neocons claim to be about God, but they're not. They're all about money. I would say it's, quoting a call for an uprising, it all connects to Bagel Town. If you guys know what I mean, oi,
Hold up. Hold.
I have no idea what the last two sentences that came out of his mouth mean. I am lost, to be honest. I have no idea what this guy's talking about anymore.
He's talking about Jewish people.
What?
He's talking about Jewish people and how they ruined the Conservative Party.
Wait, for real? Is that what he's really saying right now?
That's what I get from it, yeah.
Wait, I thought he said something like, these people claim to be conservative and that they're about family, but really they're just about making money and Bagel Town.
And oi. Oi is what gave it away.
Oi, if you know what I mean. Oh no. Is he saying there's a group of people who claim to be conservative that are really all about making money, and those people are the Jews?
Yes.
Oh no. Hey, this is what it means to be a real conservative. So I guess I have to alter my position and agree with Mr. Genesis so that I can be a real conservative.
Oy vey.
Bagel Town? What's Bagel Town? Please enlighten me.
Oh god. It has been a long time since I've heard Bagel Town. Hold on.
Well, I'm holding on. Mr. in the chat, do you have anything to say while I'm waiting for Cyrac?
Yeah. So
I'll talk with you. Shut up, Cyrac. I'm trying to talk with the guest. I mean, if you have something to say, you can say it. But I did ask you a question about Bagel Town, and you said you needed a second to look it up. So I'm just waiting on you to look that up, and I'm waiting for a chat from Mr. something. I haven't been paying attention to the name.
Matthias.
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 Mr. Matthias. I've been waiting on you. Matthias. I could tell a story. You want to hear a story about the Bible? I'll tell you a Bible story. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Jonah. And Jonah, what, you got it?
So
yeah. Okay. I'm trying to keep it from being dead air. Come on now.
It's called the Bagel Conspiracy.
Oh no. We're going down this route, Mr. Genesis.
Oh,
if God, I could call you that.
I don't think I can.
Can you summarize in a way that's not offensive?
Oh God, it's a conspiracy saying that Jewish people created a whole bunch of bagel shops to seduce Christians into being Jewish and getting them to like Jewish food. That is the least offensive way I can say this.
What? What? No. What? No. That
the bagel theory, yeah.
But he said Bagel Town.
It all falls into the same thing.
Oh, okay. I disavow Jared, and I think this might have been a bad idea to show a video from him. Holy crap. So wait, you're telling me this guy's anti-Semitic and I didn't even know? So that's another thing to add onto the list. That's another thing to freaking add onto the list of who this man is. I gave you my brief summary of what I know of him. And the next one on the list now is, if I have to talk to anybody else about him, is, he's also anti-Semitic.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, yeah, I'm really curious where this goes now. Okay, I did not know that.
Back on the thing of what ruined the Conservative Party. or conservatism wasn't just the neocons. It wasn't. It's a whole bunch of other things which led to conservatism being tainted. A lot of it was also media manipulation. Same thing with the left. The media constantly degrades the left on certain sides. But like you said before, they misconstrue one another.
Right. Yeah. And when it comes to individuals debating, they misconstrue each other.
Oh, hey, we were just talking about a certain Austrian earlier, or at least his views.
I see. Yes, I think I made a joke about that earlier.
Yep, you did.
Anyways, so I think when it comes down to debates, they like to point at the extremes in a debating sense to be like, you clearly stand with that guy in order to not have to have a debate. When it comes to the media, they like to paint the entire other side as that guy in order to cause division. And for that, it's really just views or clicks or whatever. Excuse me. And it's not necessarily that, because like the people that read the news, I don't actually think have opinions. I think they're really stupid people, to be honest. But what was I getting at? I was getting at the fact that both sides do point out the worst of each. Crap, I can't think of it now. What was it that you said that got me started talking about Bagel Town or whatever?
Because of him.
Because of Jared?
The bagel conspiracy, bagel theory.
I
Also,
don't even. Oh, you were saying that no, the neocons or conservatives it's more than the neocons that have changed the Conservative Party. And I was actually going to say, I said all that other stuff, but the main point I was going to say, because saying all that other stuff was to agree with you that yes, it is about the media and about people in debate and how they use Adam's law in all those subjects. But I also think, because I'm not a big fan of the Conservative Party, so I'm also under the belief that conservatives are standing there saying no instead of actually trying to advocate for beliefs that they want, right? Yeah, they're standing there saying they're literally, if both parties are playing tug of war, the Conservative Party is constantly giving ground, but they are at least tugging to slow down the progress as the rope is pulled. That's what I see happening. So I don't like either side.
Yeah, let's hear what he has to say. Why did you show me this video?
Because I thought it'd be fun.
Okay. Don't make me.
I was wrong.
I don't feel like losing another channel, bro. But seriously.
Wait. Don't make me spell it out. I don't feel like losing another channel. Yeah. Am I wrong on my Jared Genesis lore? Did he lose his first channel for anti-Semitic comments, and so now on the second channel he's trying to beat around the bush and be vague with it? Holy crap! Go back
and watch his stuff.
I don't want to. He's not that entertaining. It's more just like it's funny as a case study, but I don't want to literally watch all of it. Jeez, no, that's okay. I feel like that was, oh my gosh, I think you're right. I think the whole Bagel Town thing, I think this dude doesn't like the Jewish people. I think he's anti-Semitic. Holy crap. And he basically just admitted it right there. I don't want to lose another channel, so I'm not going to say it flat out. I'm going to say, oi, in Bagel Town, and you get what I mean, and we're going to move forward. So this dude is claiming that the Conservative Party, not the real Conservative Party, but the current Conservative Party is ruined. What? Hold on. What year is this?
This video?
Yeah.
3 years ago.
18?
Yeah.
2018?
Yep.
So in 2018, this dude's saying that the real conservative party has been ruined because of Jews.
This is sounding a lot like an Austrian man.
Oh no! And he wants to be a red. Oh, I'm a redneck. I'm really. Oh my god! I need to know what state this guy's in, because if he freaking is in California, because he's doing the stereotypes of like racist and stuff like that, for what a Southern person is, and he's in California, is like, I connect with the Southern people and I identify as a redneck because I hate Jews. Oh no. F you, Jared. I hate you, and I wish you would just get off of YouTube, and I hope that you turn your life around. I'm not going to say anything disparaging about what you should do. I'm going to speak positively. I really hope that you change your life and become a better person. You're older than me. You're somewhere in your 40s. Hopefully you've spent enough time to have a realization that you've been wrong for a long time.
Subscribe to A Call for an Uprising, though. The guy's great. But anyways,
Call for an uprising.
as a
Okay, we got to check that out.
conservative-
Let's save that. Hold on. Call to an uprising. Let's look. We have to save that and look that up.
Okay,
Subscribe.
we'll look into him.
Okay, yeah. Call for an uprising. Holy crap! What a terrible YouTube name.
Yeah, he would probably love the Labour Party in the UK. Proton says, "Oh dear."
Hey, Proton, you got your mic yet?
It's been acting funky on him, but he does have a mic now.
Okay.
But
Good
he probably
excuse.
wouldn't want to be
Good
on this.
excuse. Proton with his excuses. Yeah,
I
love
do
the
believe
Labour
in
Party.
God, and I do believe in family values.
Oh,
And I
no.
do, most importantly, well, I won't say most importantly, God is most important, but very, very high up there, I believe in equality. Okay. Now, you won't hear this from a Democrat, from a Black Lives Matter type person, because they see us all as the same thing. But true conservatives care about equality. We don't care about the color of your skin. We don't care about any of that. Okay. Now,
Hold on. Wasn't he just making anti-Semitic remarks?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually kind of in shock with this last sentence. Okay. Yeah, good. Well, I'm tearing down my computer this weekend. Okay, good. You do that and rebuild it, and one day I'll get a computer as well, and we'll all get on board game thing simulator and do some
Yes.
fun stuff on there. Yeah. So this dude just went from anti-Semitism to a true conservative, believes in family, God, and equality, unlike BLM and the Democrats, which is a pretty freaking bold statement.
I'm
Because
pretty sure there are some people who support BLM that believe in God.
I was going to say the rhetoric used there, aside from the God part, you're right, because the God thing is definitely way more conservative than it is Democratic. Generally speaking, because yes, there's definitely people on both sides who are religious. I'm not saying there isn't. There definitely is. But for talking points, everything he listed off, I would say, except for God, is democratic. Those are democratic points of equality and all that stuff.
Family?
And
No.
oh no, you're right. Democrats don't like family,
Yeah.
especially BLM. BLM doesn't like family.
And equality
No,
only
you're right.
whenever everybody is broke.
You're right. So what I should say is the equality part. The BLM and the left proclaims equality constantly, but what they really want is, I think, equity is what the word is.
Yes, they want equity.
But the difference between equality and equity is we all have fair starts, and equity is everyone winning needs to give up their winnings so that the people losing get better outcomes. Is that fair to say? Does that make sense? Maybe
Yep.
I worded that wrong.
You worded it pretty well.
Okay, I feel like I feel like I worded it in a mean way. I didn't mean to, but it's just like if we're gonna if this is a game of Monopoly, equity means that the guy in first place is supposed to divvy up his winnings so that everyone can stay in the game. When that's not what Monopoly is about. Even though Monopoly is definitely a propaganda game for anti-capitalism.
Yes.
Great game though. Super good game.
That's equity. Yeah, Proton. This man
apparently not
is
cleaning your room or wearing a shirt like a normal person. What did he say before that? I missed it.
No, that's what he said.
I swear. Okay, I thought I saw a comment before that.
Like winning or Charlie Sheen winning.
Ooh, definitely Charlie Sheen winning.
Yeah,
definitely.
By the way, Proton, we went over this earlier. This man is apparently on laundry week.
Week. Yeah.
Austin explained it where he wears one shirt for an entire week, wears another shirt for an entire week until all of his clothes are dirty and he can't wear them anymore. And then he does laundry for the entire week.
Yeah. That's about right. While he's washing his clothes, quote unquote. And then he wears a shirt again, but he just goes through the same cycle. And that's how you know what time of the month it is.
And you sent me 2 videos from this man.
Yeah, with
both of them shirtless.
I know. Yeah, they're both in the same week. I really want to say that this guy's great, but it's not great as in like he's a decent person. It's great like this is hilarious and he's awful. That's the kind of great that I mean. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Monopoly is not well liked in the board game fandom, though.
It's a solid game.
Absolutely loves. My sister has like 7 different variants of Monopoly.
Dude, it's a solid game as long as you don't play house rules. You just play the rules as the game comes. Then it's a solid game.
Let's go.
Of course, you have some people
gonna fight about Monopoly
who are racist, and
like you, Jared.
But the truth of the matter is, guys, times have changed. I know a lot of these blacks, they want to think, and not just blacks, but a lot of these,
oh my
SJWs, they want to believe that whites are all racist, but we're really not as bad as we used to be. I would say the biggest racists now are people who are black and brown.
Oh my God, we're not as bad. So he's like, yeah, racist. Oh, definitely. Yeah. White people totally racist. Yeah, absolutely racist. But we're not as racist. By the way, the blacks and browns. Oh my God. Oh, also the Jews. Jared, who are you? What are you, Jared?
What is wrong
You're
with
clearly not a man. He's not a man. No. He is different. He is something different than a man. He is a character. There's no way that he can actually be a real. This has to all be.
He can't be a real person, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. This is the greatest case of what do you call when you really method acting? This is method acting. This is the greatest case of method acting I've ever seen.
Thing is, he's getting all of his information wrong. So how method can he get?
No, that's the method. He's playing an ignorant racist.
Proton, he didn't grow his hair back.
This
is from 3 years ago.
Redneck.
There we go. Methadone acting.
He's on meth. Yeah. Yes, methadone acting. Absolutely. Nobody likes the French.
Yeah, nobody likes the French earlier. Nobody likes them.
Only the French like the French.
I don't even think that.
They probably hate each other. You're right. Why would you like each other? You're French.
This man needs to be in a clinic.
Yeah.
I swear.
No, he really, dude. No, this guy really does need help. He needs help. I don't know what kind of help he needs. I know definitely like I guess a psychiatrist. Maybe he does need, like, maybe he is on drugs or meth or whatever. So like maybe he does need to go to rehab. But he definitely needs someone to talk to work stuff out, because he is, geez, he is just wrong. He's just wrong. That's the easiest way to put it. And these are all, he's making points of like, this is what it means to be a real conservative. And it's been like racism, racism, racism. Oh, by the way, here's more racism.
So the rural folk hate Parisians, and Parisians hate Parisians.
Ah, just like the French.
That is the French.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But so, like, to put that more succinctly, the way that he started this video off, to put my last point succinctly, instead of just saying all he said is racism, racism, is that he started off by saying, I don't like either side of the conservative party that I've identified as the only two sides of the conservative party. I am a real conservative. I identify as the deep South, so I'm a redneck. Therefore, I hate Jews, and I also hate black and brown people because they're racist.
Yeah, you can't fix stupid.
No, exactly. We can try. We can try, dang it. Otherwise, yeah, no, he has the right to be stupid. He has the right to be ignorant. Honestly. My libertarian side says he has the right to be racist even. We don't have to like him. We don't have to support him. But he has the right to do it. And then we socially ostracize him. It's that simple.
Yep.
It seems like he is already socially ostracized. And maybe that's how he came to these opinions and conclusions, but it's not doing any harm because he's a guy sitting in his room. Well, okay, the only harm it's doing is that he definitely has laid hands upon his parents who are elderly. So he is a bad person.
Oh god. I watched that video. Yeah, in the beginning he's like, I don't advocate for slavery or racism, but here's why slavery and racism are good.
Wait, who said that?
Racist furry with a foot fetish.
Racist furry. I haven't heard of that guy.
Oh god, he got his channel nuked, but somebody re-uploaded.
Yeah, I would imagine
somebody re-uploaded the video.
Look, I have a tough position to take, which is that anyone should be able to say anything they want. But then I also do feel like there needs to be punishment for people who say really awful things. And I'm not sure how to handle that, to be completely honest. Because like I just said, everyone has the right to be stupid, ignorant, racist, wrong, all this stuff. Everyone has the right to do it because it's free speech. It's your opinion. You can say it. You can do it. But there does have to be repercussions for being wrong. But I don't know if removing you and silencing your voice is the right action. Because what that does is it makes you a martyr. And then more people are going to think, well, maybe then you're right. And they'll listen to you. The best counter to bad information is good information.
Like I told you before, whenever you said that you just stopped talking to the racists that you came in contact with, you don't silence them, you don't ignore them, you challenge their ideas.
Right, which would have been the way to the better way to handle it. I just personally I didn't feel up to the task at the time, so it was easier for me to just remove myself from their friend group than it was for me to try and challenge them. But You're absolutely right. I should have stuck around and actually remained friends with them, and then just every time they were racist, challenge that statement and been like, "So why did you say that? What do you think this means? Blah blah blah." And that would be the way to do it. That would be the way to do it. And going forward, that will be the way I do it.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. And I've had
Right.
people be like, "You can't challenge them on their ideas. They're just going to continue with their own ideas." And I'm like, "But you can put the seed of thought
Right.
in there that they can change their mind."
Because rather than me walk away, it would be better and more productive if they walk away.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree entirely. And from this point on, when someone has very terrible ideas and actions, that's what I'm going to do. Honestly, it kind of follows in the suit of what Jesus was saying, because like the majority of people Jesus hung out with was sinners, because he wanted to be there to challenge their ideas. And so I should actually act more like that. So whenever I interact with people who are racist, instead of ostracizing them and saying, "No, I'm just not going to even be around you anymore because you're racist," I should just verbally challenge it and get them to actually explain themselves and then argue against it until the point they either change or they walk away.
Yep.
I think
And
I think that would be more honorable even. I kind of feel ashamed that I walked away from him now.
learning experience.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I honestly hope it doesn't come up again, though. To be honest, I don't like talking with racists. But if it happens again, if I run into more racists, then I'm going to handle it that way, where I challenge their beliefs.
Well, I got the video. Thank you, Matthias. Matthias.
Yeah, Matthias. I'm pretty sure it's Matthias. It
Thank
could be
you.
any of those, though.
I always forget how to pronounce your name properly.
But we should try and finish this, because I need to go to bed soon.
Sorry if that offends some of you guys, but that's just how I see it. I mean, I've made certain videos where I get so much hate, and I know it's black and brown people. Like, it's more than evident.
What?
We're not going to go too big into that, but I'll just leave it there. But to me, being a conservative is someone who cares about equality, someone who cares about the little guy. One of the greatest presidents to ever walk the earth, Richard Nixon, he was a true Republican. That man was the real deal. Even Gorgeous George, I was watching a video of him. Even he, one of the biggest scumbags on YouTube, recognized him. And I will at least give him that. But see, even some liberals, they can't deny just how great that man was. That was a true conservative. We're not talking fake conservatives like, George W. Bush, who's the ultimate Rothschild Illuminati motherfucker. Okay, this guy, he may have played the Texas Charm, but that guy's pure evil.
Okay, so since there was a break, no, Nixon was a terrible person.
Am I supposed to respond? I don't know, honestly. I don't know.
Oh God.
I really don't. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of stuff about how he was terrible, but I've also seen a lot of stuff about how he did a lot of good things. And so personally, I just don't know. I don't know. I can't pick a side on Nixon. I get that he resigned because of all the controversy of the Watergate Hotel. And all the
it was
tapes
more than just that.
and everything that was going on. I totally get that. But then, like, I've heard other policies and things that he implemented, and I'm like, I don't know. I personally just don't know. I can't take one side or another when it comes to Nixon. Not yet. I need to know more information about Nixon.
So,
he's really popular to be hated. He's really popular to be hated. But here's one of my reasons why I'm not sure. So is Trump. Trump is really popular to be hated. And he also did a lot of things that I disagree with. And so I look at Nixon and I'm like, okay, well, I wasn't there and I see how he was hated and he did a lot of things I disagree with. But does that actually mean he was bad? I don't know. I'm living in a state of flux because of what happened under the Trump administration.
So, do you see what
Oh, Austin, as a black man, when I hear the N-word, I laugh, just don't care. I read in here and I said it. Then I just don't care. Yeah, actually, yeah. That's the thing, is it's really only African Americans. That's even inaccurate. I hate the term African American, honestly. And that's just from being friends with James.
You got to remember, he's Brazilian.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting at. So he's Brazilian, and it doesn't mean a thing to him. And I wanted to say, I started my sentence off right with African Americans, but then I'm like, well, that's a really stupid thing to say, because it's either you're American or you're not. But if you're an immigrant, I could see how you'd be a blank American, because saying African American for every single person that happens to be black skinned or brown skinned or whatever you want to term it, is just an inaccurate statement. And really what I want to say then, because I feel like it's a stupid thing to say African American when referring to anyone of alternate ethnicity that is an American. The thing is that those types of people, so I just don't want to say it. That's basically what I'm getting at. I don't want to call someone brown or black African American, because that doesn't necessarily, because their skin color doesn't actually determine that they're from Africa. That's what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah. So with Nixon, he ended the Britainwood.
Oh, I didn't finish what I was saying.
Oh,
you can. I know I freaking stumbled upon my words and rambled and stuff, but the point I'm trying to say is, of course, anyone outside of America doesn't find the N-word offensive. It's only a select few people in America that find it offensive, and it's a cultural thing. Because, okay, so no word should actually be offensive. I actually looked into this because of how much of I like history. The words that are commonly found offensive are because they're called bad words, right? They're foul language. What that actually means is they're not proper King's English. So by saying something like the word shit, you're not using the proper word feces. Therefore, it's offensive because you're not speaking the King's English. And that's where all offensive or bad language came from. So I don't think any word should actually be considered offensive. But for some reason, I shouldn't even say for some reason, for a clear reason, there's a couple words that have been stigmatized to be racist throughout history because of actions taken and the people that use them. Now, do I think that anyone should take offense to them? No. But it's not my place to determine who gets offended or not. Should I be allowed to use any of those words? Absolutely. I don't use those kind of words, though, because I like to view myself as an octopus. And as an octopus, I should be openly available to have a conversation with anyone at any time. Because as an octopus, I might not know a lot about anything, but I have a tentacle in everything. Therefore, I know just enough to be able to continue to have a conversation on any subject with any person that I ever meet. And not using offensive language helps that happen. Because I've only once ever had someone skeptical or freak out about me by not using swear words or foul language. And no one has ever been like, so I've had one person be like, wait, you don't cuss? That's weird. I'm suspicious of you. At no point ever has anyone else done that. If anything, it's opened up a bunch of connections and bridges by the fact that I pick and choose the words that I use when discussing subjects with people. That's my long-winded explanation for that. So, Nixon, what were you going to tell me about Nixon?
So with the Britainwood removal, which was originally the gold standard. Also, if I'm roboting, please let me know. I
You're
see
not.
that I'm having a
No, you're good. You're good. Gold
connection.
standard. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Nixon took us off the gold standard and put us on the petrol dollar.
Yes.
Right. I'm
Uh,
aware of that.
then
Was that a bad
the
idea?
yes, because
Why?
we have nothing backing our money now.
We have petrol to back our money.
We don't even have petrol. It's not really
No, no, no.
oil that backs our money.
Our money's changed since then to fiat currency. But so how is Nixon wrong to put it on petrol? The thing is, it's been changed again. That's why I'm
I
not
see where you're
sure.
coming from.
Yeah, exactly. It's been changed again. So it's not gold. It's not petrol. It's now fiat. It's just an idea. It's based upon the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve gets to print whatever they want. And so it's literally a nothing-backed system. But at least on the petrol dollar, it was based on the amount of oil we had in our country.
Yeah. Then there's Vietnam and Libya, which why?
Vietnam, why? I have no idea. It does seem like an absolute stupid thing. And did you know in the textbooks of the state I live in, they don't even teach that we lost. They teach that we won. We won Vietnam.
Oh no, that's up for contention everywhere. There are books that say that we won. There's books that say that we lost. There's books
easiest
that say
way
it was a stalemate.
it's draw stalemate. That actually makes the most sense from everything I've seen. We chose to leave because of all the protesters and everything. It was also a really stupid war based on everything I understand, and there was no reason we should have even been involved in it. So it was pointless. We basically shouldn't have ever even been there. It shouldn't have been a war. From all my understanding, and I could be wrong. There could be a good reason. Libya war. Not sure about that. I don't know anything about the Libya war.
I'm gonna look into it further. I just remember the whole situation going on with Libya. We definitely shouldn't have gotten it. I say we don't get involved in the world's issues, but that's
I
just me.
agree. It's not just you, it's both of us. Why don't we just, stay home and secure the borders and then not worry about what goes on in the rest of the world?
I can agree with that. Vietnam was lost in the houses of Americans, not in the battlefield.
See, yes, that's my understanding of it. It was the first televised war, and America hated it when they actually saw what happened in war and protested against it. And that's why no other war has ever been televised.
No, one other war has recently.
The Iraq War?
Yep.
Yeah, but not very well. We covered the initial bombardment, and then we had selected video of troops instead of just raw footage. It was heavily censored and heavily edited.
Mainly whenever we first went to Afghanistan and Iraq, yeah.
Right, exactly. And then it just disappeared, and we're not at war.
And the only thing that we got after that initial spurt of news on what was going on was the death tolls of American soldiers.
I mean, from my recollection, the war stopped being broadcasted in like 2007. It was like the war just ended, even though it wasn't over. And it's still not over.
Time of peace, everybody. There. We're in a time of peace.
Yep. Well, see, that's the thing. We don't even declare that, though. We just don't say that we're at war. We don't say that we're at peace. We just ignore it. The media ignores it entirely, even though we're still occupying territory. Well, see, that's the thing, is we went from being at war to being world builders. Country builders, nation builders. We're building nations. We're not at war anymore.
Yeah, and like you were mentioning in your video, what was it, Thursday? Whenever it was uploaded, the UN and the League of Nations.
Yeah, the League of Nations, right. Thank you for reminding me of that with your comment.
No problem.
For some reason, I just couldn't remember League of Nations. Yeah, I remember UN, and I was like, I know there's something that was before that was basically the UN. But anyways, yeah. What were you gonna say?
Just remember, the League of Nations did not have as big control over the rest of the world as the UN does currently.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100. It was more of just a meeting place.
Yep, and
Now
that's
it's
what it
actually
should
like
have been.
yeah. Now the UN is like, we make policies.
Yeah,
But the League of Nations was like, hey, if anything happens on a global scale, we should have our world leaders come together to talk about it.
yeah,
And that makes sense. I get that, of like, hey, can we have a place for debate in case it's like, hey, I'm really pissed off that you cut off our oil, so I think that we're going to do something about it. And then you have a potential chance of being like, okay, well, let's work something out. And then now the UN is just like, oh, you want to invade them? Okay, well, then here's what we're going to do. Is give us your plans on what your invasion force is going to be, where you're going to attack, your points of insert, this and that, your mission statement. Okay, now, country being invaded, here's all of their information. What's your defensive plan? What's your plans for going forward from this? And it's like, wait. You're going to just like make war impossible for the invaders? Like, shouldn't you just try to stop the war, not just give the defensive country all of the information? It's like, no, we're going to give the defensive country all the information, and then they can just lie. And so then all of a sudden everybody just started lying to each other. So the invaders are like, oh no, we're not going to go to war, and they just go to war behind the UN's back. It's that simple. The UN's stupid. It's stupid and pointless, and we shouldn't be a part of it.
and like I had up on screen, the only justified war currently would be against China for the weaker camps, the border conflict with India,
Right?
them
Yeah,
building.
no, it's dude. It's Xi Jinping is Hitler 2.0. Yes, it's completely logical. But we didn't get into World War II because of Hitler slaughtering people and doing a mass genocide. We got into World War II because we were attacked by the Japanese.
Yep.
It's going to take the same thing, man. It's going to take the same thing. The American people aren't going to rise up and say, we should stop this guy who's doing exactly what Hitler did until American soil is attacked. Then people will say, yeah, let's do something about it. It's the same reason we went to war with Afghanistan, is we didn't give a crap about what was going on there until the Twin Towers were hit. And then everybody in America was like, kill them. Kill them. They're terrible. They're awful.
And also, you've seen the movie Black Hawk Down, right?
Yeah, it's a freaking great movie.
It is, but do you know why we couldn't
UN.
fire upon? Yep,
UN.
we couldn't
UN.
get anything done because of them.
No. The entire situation could have been avoided if the UN wasn't involved. It would have so in the movie, one of the guys that's like leading the operation is like, it's gonna take a day. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna rescue these people, and we're gonna pull them out, because it was like a group of people they wanted to interrogate because one of them was probably part of the regime. Right? We didn't know who it was, but we're going to go in there. We're going to extract these people. We're going to come out. Or were they actually like, my memory's messing up slightly. Anyways, the point being, it was supposed to take a day. And absolutely, it would have only taken a day. It would have taken 8 or 9 hours, which is what the original estimation was. But because of the UN, there were no Apaches. There was no air support. There was no tanks. There was nothing to be like, we're just going to march in and do this and then leave. Which the thing is, the stronger armament that you bring in, the less casualties there are, because more people get afraid. It's a freaking like power play, right? It's like in chess. It's like in chess. If you move your queen to a position, it's like, holy crap, I need to back down from this position unless I'm lined up to take out the queen. But if I'm not lined up to take out the queen and you move the queen into a position that's just like, F you, then you just back down or reinforce. You don't actually fight back, So you have to take a strategic retreat, in a sense, would be a way to put it. But because we didn't actually have a queen and it was just a bishop and a knight that we sent in, it was like, oh, well, we'll just kill him. It's a bishop and a knight.
Yeah, like Proton says, less people want to oppose an overwhelming force.
Right, exactly. Less people want to oppose it. Right. And see, that's the thing. That's how most military conflicts are ended, is if you move in an overwhelming force, everyone just surrenders. Because like, it's not worth it. It's not worth my life.
Which is one reason why France at the time had more military victories than any other nation in the world, because they would go
Yeah,
and
that's
pick
a good
on
point.
the weaker. They would go in and pick on the weaker countries and take them over, and then be like, "All right, we won the war."
Yeah, that's a good point. I was going to use Germany as an example because before World War II technically started, they literally just drove a dozen Panzerschreck tanks or whatever into a territory with a battalion or two of troops, and they immediately surrendered and said, "Yay, we're being liberated by Germany!" And it's like, yeah, liberated.
No, you're perfectly fine for ordering exterminatus because the Xenos need to perish.
I think we should finish this video though.
Yes.
Richard Nixon was the real deal. And I'll even give it to other people of different, walks of life, like John F. Kennedy. That guy was the real deal. He may have been a Democrat, but that dude was the real deal.
Yeah, JFK was
And
dope.
Yeah, JFK
probably
was
why
awesome.
he was killed. Just saying. He
His
knew
brother
about
was
stuff.
pretty dope too.
We won't go into that, but yeah, I do not believe the guy was murdered by Oswald. I think that it's just absurd to think that he was. But anyways, so that's all we really got to say. That's what being a conservative means to me.
Wait, what?
Now, in a perfect world,
So that's what it means to be a conservative.
What?
But we still have 3 more minutes.
Yeah. We're getting into what a real conservative is, I would assume. But so, like, can you summarize for me? Because I'm lost. What is a conservative? Because he didn't say real conservative. He said that's what a conservative is to me. And then I'm assuming this rest part is like, this is how I'm a real conservative, though. I could totally be wrong. But, like, can you summarize, please? Because my understanding is support Nixon, support JFK, Jews are bad, blacks are bad, browns are bad. They're also all racist. Banks are bad. Conservative. Rednecks are good, which I'm down with. I'm down with the rednecks are good part.
Yeah.
But
That's personal bias, though.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's definitely a personal bias. But is that right? Is that basically what he said in the last 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes?
Pretty much.
Okay, so to be a conservative, you need to be extremely racist.
Well, JFK, I don't know if he was or not.
No. I'm saying Jared. Jared said this is what a conservative is to me. Jews are bad, blacks are bad, browns are bad. They're the racists. Right? So being conservative to him means be racist.
But also be about equality and family.
Yeah. Be about equality and family and God. That's important too. I forgot about that part. Yeah. God, equality, and family.
All right, got it. Everybody's equally racist. That's how we fix it.
According to Jared Genesis, we're all racist here.
Oh my god.
This guy is awful. I hate him. I'm glad that we're watching this.
But we still got 3 more minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna learn what a real conservative is.
No, he finished off what a real conservative is.
No. He said that's what a conservative is.
Okay.
I just want to say this really quick because I always have my little, anarchy rants, punk rock, yeah. But like in a perfect world, guys, anarchy would be great. Not having any sort of
is he
dictator or people to tell you what to do. But unfortunately, guys, that's just not the world we live in. That doesn't work, man. If it worked, I would be the first to stand side by side with people like Antifa, even though they're posers and they're not real anarchists. I would be.
Hold on. Antifa are posers. Yeah, well, yeah, because they're not anti-fascist. They're using fascist uh methods to get their message across. But you would join them? You would join them
Dude, Jared,
as a real conservative, huh?
yeah, Jared just said as a real conservative, I'm all about anarchy, but it's just not possible. But if it was, I would be with Antifa.
Antifa are not about anarchy.
No, they're not at all. They're not about anarchy. They're socialists. Or communists. They're communists. They're Marxists. Wait, they're Marxists. They're admitted Marxists. The leaders of Antifa are admitted Marxists.
They don't know what they are. They don't know what their ideology is.
The members maybe not, but the leaders know what they are.
That's true. But wait, aren't there no official leaders for Antifa?
According to the government, no.
Yeah. So,
but according to like a couple minutes of research, you'll see that there's like 12 or 13 that are in charge of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They are Stalinists.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Stalin. They're Marxists.
Stalinism and Marxism vary differently, slightly.
Yeah, I would imagine. It's similar. It's the same way that CRT aligns with Marxism. It's not identical to Marxism, but it uses the same categorization and rhetoric. Yeah, exactly. To use new, but you use new words and you divide things on different lines than Marx did. So dissent and violence create an illusion of a large environment. Large movement. Sorry, large movement. Dissent and violence create a large movement. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
That actually I cannot speak.
Yeah, it's deception. There's another word I should use. But deception is the easiest way to put it. It's
Deceit.
like yeah, exactly. It's like during I think it was World War II that it was popularized, at least, where America inflated a bunch of balloons that looked like tanks and Humvees to make fake bases to get Germany to think that they were launching attacks from certain directions. It's all misinformation, right? It's like, so you can deceive your enemy into thinking that the movement is much bigger than what it is.
CRT is rad lib for some communists.
CRT is radical liberalism for some communists.
Uh-huh.
Radical liberalism. Okay. I think I might be too stupid. I might be stupid. Am I stupid? I think I'm stupid. I don't know what that actually means.
The world is stupid.
Yeah, I guess so. But there's just so many labels. There's so many freaking labels, and I'm not a fan of labels. I don't like labels. I treat people on an individual basis. The problem is that there are groups and movements. But from my background, I look at these groups and movements the same way that you say, well, that person's a hipster, that person's a goth, that person's emo, that person, likes this band, that person likes this movie. And I'm like, well, these are labels that you're giving these people based on very limited information. And there's terrible people in all of them.
There are. And there are terrible people in the libertarian movement. There's terrible people in the Republican Party. There's terrible people in the Democrat Party, which they seem to outnumber most.
I agree.
But that's also just looking at it from getting your news from all over the place and then coming to your own conclusion.
People should be more like me. All right? More like me. I get my news from just about every source out there.
I try to. It's so hard watching CNN.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. It really is. But the thing is, I don't just get my news from left wing or right wing. I literally read at least 20 different publications a day, maybe more. I can't say offhand. But
I don't know what all I follow. I have an app that has all the different news sites on it,
yes, perfect.
and give
Yes,
me.
yeah, perfect.
By the way,
Oh,
Austin, when you are
yeah.
in the non-normie internet, those labels are pretty common.
When you're in the non-normie internet, those labels are pretty common. So, am I a normie? Is that what is being said? I'm a normie? That like because there's all these labels and I don't really know the exact definition of them. So am I in the
It's so
normie
hard to keep up.
internet?
It's hard to keep up with what new labels are going on currently. But if you browse the deeper parts of the internet, you can stumble across where it originated from and what it means.
Okay, well I think that I am on the normie internet because like I don't have social media. Uh, so I don't know memes. That's one thing that all of my friends basically laugh at me about is that they'll reference a meme and I'm like, what are you talking about? And then they show it to me and I'm like, none of this makes sense. And it's like, oh, because you're not on the internet. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I live in real world. Like I walk around and I talk to people. I go to stores and I buy my stuff instead of shipping it. I talk to the cashiers. I go to gas stations and I pick my gas station and the restaurants that I go to based on how my interactions with the cashiers go. Like
Yeah,
I build a familiar relationship with the people that I interact with, and I don't know what it's actually like to be in the digital age because I don't like it.
that's like the gas station that I frequent
So
the
I guess I'm a
most.
normie.
The gas station I frequent the most. They don't ID me whenever I buy beer or anything like that. Mainly
Right. Yeah.
because I sat there for a solid 30 minutes one day just talking to the cashier because nobody else was in the gas station.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I do that all the time, yeah. Like if someone's in line, I'm more respectful and I'm like, "Hey, I know you're trying to do your job." But if no one's there, I'm like, "Yo, what's up? Yeah, let's talk."
Yeah,
Uh
it's good to be personable with people.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I want. I pick the places I go based on the interactions I get with people. Like it's seriously that simple. Like um I haven't been there in a while, but there's a specific bar I go to because there's a specific bartender who actually takes time to talk to me and has interesting things to say. I haven't been there in a couple months. It might be like actually going on half a year. But if I'm going to go to a bar, that's the bar I'm going to go to. And it's like if I'm going to go out to eat food, I'm going to go to the place that I'm interacted with by the people there and learn more about their lives.
Yeah,
If I'm going to go to a gas station, I go to the gas station that I know the cashiers because they talk
exactly.
with me, right? Like I'm not just, I don't know, I'm not in this bubble of like, oh, these are just services, and I want that, like I don't even like shopping at Walmart because I refuse self checkout. I don't ever do self checkout. I always wait in line because I want to talk to the cashier. Like
Yeah,
I'm whack. I am different. I guess a normie in the sense in this not in the sense that my behavior is normal, but I'm a normie in the sense that I don't know what all of this lingo actually means. Like I don't know the translation of what a neoconservative is. I don't know what alt right really means. I don't know what
well,
these things are
even
because
then,
I'm not aware of what they're stated as based on the internet because I'm very disconnected.
alt right is a very ambiguous term, and it varies from person to person. So they have to define it in their way. Otherwise, you don't know what kind of alt right they're talking about.
Right. Yeah, yeah, I definitely get that. That's why whenever I talk to people, I just ask them what they mean instead of assuming what their words are. I constantly am asking what it is they're actually talking about because I just don't know what it is. But like, so to go back here to this, when you are in the non-normie internet base, those labels are pretty common. What labels are common and what do those labels mean? I'm not sure. I really don't know. And so does that mean I'm just a normie? Because maybe I am. You know, maybe I'm that ignorant. I definitely don't think I'm that smart. I definitely don't know that much, really. I don't. I know a lot of history, and uh, I know some philosophy. That'd be a way to put it.
Philosophy is so draining sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, like other than that, I really don't know anything. Like I said earlier, I'm an octopus. I know just enough about everything to be able to hold a conversation where I'm asking questions, and that's it. Like, I'm not an expert in any field. I've gone out of my way to make sure that I know just enough about a subject that when someone brings it up, I can ask them for more information. Like, I can ask them their opinions. They can give me a statement and I can ask them a question back, not being completely in the dark about it.
Do you get
Proton, I refuse to be stamped, labeled, briefed, debriefed, numbered. I am a free man. Stamped, labeled, briefed, debriefed, numbered. I am a free man. Yeah, that's dope. That's a great statement. The problem is, you already were numbered from the moment you were born. You were given 9 digits, and that's what the government recognizes you as. Congratulations. Welcome to America. Welcome to Social Security. You have a 9-digit designation that you will be known as. And to get any job, you must present. So, sorry, Proton. You're already numbered if you're American.
Inquisitor is saying read Meditations. Stoicism is pretty cool.
Stoicism?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely think Stoicism is cool. I definitely do.
We need Stoicism.
On a philosophical, on a philosophical standing, I'm not necessarily sure what Stoicism means, but like from the definition of the word Stoic, to say Stoicism, I'm like I'm down with that, but I don't know what the actual philosophical meaning is.
Stoicism. The best way to say Stoicism is you don't show emotion whenever you're in the heat of something. You are calm, cool, and collected at all times.
I'm 100% behind that. Yep, that's how I've gotten out of a lot of tight situations, actually, is by shoving my emotions to the side during the event in order to handle things in the most efficient way at the moment. And then post hoc, I can have the emotions, you know? Like, say you get in a car wreck, and until everyone is accounted for and okay and dealt with, there should be no emotions. And then once the whole thing is settled, then I can be like, holy crap, we were in a car wreck. Oh my God, that person, blah, blah, blah. And I was freaking out and this and that. But until everything is completely settled, no, it's just like, okay, how's everyone's health? Is everyone okay? What's the status of the vehicles? What's the status of the other parties in the other vehicles? What's going on? How are cops coming? You know, like just handle the situation. And then once the entire situation is over, then I'll have emotions about it.
Yeah, basically the standard definition is you're not affected by or showing passion or feeling towards anything. You're indifferent to everything.
Indifferent to everything? And how?
Yes.
Okay, hold on, wait. Indifferent to everything. Yeah, okay, but why Proton is post hoc? LOL. Why is that funny? That's a term. Do you
Post
not know
hoc.
that term?
It's from Smudcast.
Oh, okay. Is there an inside joke I'm unaware of? I was
Yeah.
just using the
Yeah,
English language as
I sent
intended.
you Smudboy's YouTube channel. You need to start watching his videos. They're
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I've watched I watched him cover the videos we've covered.
Well, one.
Yeah, exactly. It was 2 episodes. I watched both.
Well, I sent him that after we covered that video.
Right, and I watched his take on it.
Yeah. I also miss Wisp. Why hasn't Wisp been on Spudcast in a bit?
Okay, post Hawk. Hawk is a person that's on Spudcast, and so I'm
Yes.
saying after Hawk. Okay, I get it. After that guy's gone, here's how I feel. Okay, yeah. Okay, I get the joke.
Yes. Blame Hawk. All right, let's go. We got
Yeah.
2 minutes.
The first to stand side by side with them singing Kumbaya.
Side by side with
and all
Antifa
that
singing
shit, but that's
Kumbaya?
just not the world we live in. And see, they don't understand that because they live in a very antisocial, closed-minded life. You can't expect people like Antifa to understand. They're all pretty much just very vacant people who have had a bad upbringing, who've been spoiled by their upper-class parents. I may not be from the deep south, but I still grew up poor, and I know about that life. And
I
grew up poor. Look at all the things in the back of my video.
In my room, yeah. Here's my room. I grew up poor, which maybe he did. Maybe he did grow up poor. I'm not saying.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I did.
I'm definitely not saying that. Okay, so like a lot of the stuff that he said, I'm like, okay, Jared, this is reflection.
I want to clarify something. I grew up American poor, which is completely different from the rest of the world.
Right, not poor according to the world, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, I grew up lower middle class, and it took me. Let's see, I left the house at 17.
Yeah.
Took me like 14 years or so to get back to lower middle class. So my lowest point is I was homeless. I was homeless. I was homeless for a little bit, but I've struggled my way back up the system to be lower middle class myself, and it just takes discipline. That's the easiest way to put it. It just takes discipline.
It does. Hard work, perseverance, discipline.
Exactly. Which I think hard work, perseverance are all traits of being disciplined. But yeah, so for him though to say that it's like, oh, Antifa, I would totally stand side by side, but you don't know what it's like to be me. And then you look at what he's living in, and then his history of the fact that this room is in his parents' house that he has never moved out of. So you're right, he's spoiled. This is a spoiled brat.
I mean, he's not wrong about Antifa members being spoiled. They're very, very spoiled.
Yeah. Commonly, anyone who is, I guess, quote unquote, demasked, it turns out that they're usually like children of scholars,
or somebody well off.
Yeah, and yeah. Like there was one Antifa member who was the daughter of a mayor of the town they were rioting in.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
De Blasio's daughter.
De Blasio's daughter was an Antifa member. Yeah, so like it turns out most of the Antifa members are white upper or middle class Americans.
Yep.
But they're the children. I guess I should say they're the children of white upper class or middle class Americans.
That never had to worry about anything in their life.
Yeah, and they've never struggled for themselves to get to that position. That's one thing that I will always thank my family for, is I wasn't just given a handout.
Nope, I wasn't either.
They were just like, okay, good job. Welcome to being nearly an adult. I mean, I guess technically the system considers me an adult and they considered me an adult, but I don't think I was an adult until I was 25. Everything else, I'm pretty sure, was just me being a kid that was like, haha, I'm a kid that's not living with my family. And very quickly, the world slapped me in the face multiple times until I got my act together and realized what discipline means. And then now here I am at lower middle class. Later. Yeah, more than that. 17 till now. You know, because I
was talking about whenever you finally grew up.
Yeah. 5 years later from when I actually recognized and grew up. No. Actually, no, now that I'm thinking about it, 5 years. I've basically been an adult.
Tell me that I'm fucking wrong.
You're wrong! I've been an adult for 5.5 years. Thank you. You know, that reminds me, you know how like people that are like 5'5" and stuff, they'll be like, I'm 5'5.5". And I'm like, I guess at that height you do need that extra half inch to be prominent to you. Like, you're so insecure that it's like, oh, I'm 5'5.5". And it's like, once you hit 6 foot, it doesn't matter anymore. Even about whole inches. Like, whole inches don't even matter anymore. Because, like, I think that I'm 6'1", but if someone asks me, like, how tall are you? I'm like, 6 foot. It's like, because it doesn't matter. Once you hit 6 foot, it's like, whatever. Everything above this is, I mean, I guess if you hit, like, 6'3", 6'5", you'd be like, I'll tell you I'm this tall. But at 6 foot plus, I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm 6 foot. There you go. That's the answer. But them 5'5" people, man, they're like, I'm 5'5 3/4. I'm 5'5.5". And it's like, yeah, you need that, don't you? You're so insecure.
Yeah, I mean, wow, Proton, I'm 7 foot when standing on my charisma.
Haha, good man. No, dude, the best quote ever is my when I went to college, the dean was 5'6", and his most common saying is, he said, I'm 5'6", but if you make me angry, I'm 6'5". And I was like, okay, that's pretty funny. He said that a lot. And I was just like, yeah, it's a great saying, but you know, now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, that's another insecurity, isn't it? It's like, I'm 5'6", and a lot of you guys are way taller than me. Napoleon complex here. If you make me mad, I'm 6'5", sucker.
But
because even when he was mad at me, he never came across as 6'5". He came across as an angry 5'6" man, standing below my shoulders, looking up at me as he yelled.
What I was going to say was, you and I don't differ very much in height, though.
Bro, you got a good 2 inches on me. What are you talking about? You're definitely taller than I am.
I don't think I had that. I don't think I'm that much taller than you. I really don't.
All right, we'll figure it out. But I know we're both over 6 foot, but you are definitely taller than me. There's no debating that. You are definitely taller. I want to say it's at least 2 inches.
All right, we'll figure that out at a later date.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I am an inquisitor. Whenever a heretic criticizes me, I put a bolter round in their head. Yeah. And bolters are the only cure.
Yeah, all right. dude, chat's great. I wish they would just join us and
Do you
talk.
know?
But
You know what that is from?
no idea. But the fact that it's a gun and guns are the only cure, I'm down for.
40K.
Okay, perfect. Yep. Inquisitors even? Are those also 40K?
Yep.
Okay, yep, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. I only have two or three friends that are in 40K. And they've never actually played. They just have the models and they still haven't painted them. And I'm like, why did you ask me to play this with you? And I'm really glad I never bought models because you still haven't. Yeah, yeah, I am poor. You're right. I'm poor. I know that's not what you're saying, but I'm gonna just translate it to yes, I am poor. Hence the fact I don't spend a bunch of money on a game that I'll never play with anybody because, like I
40K
said,
is
I have.
expensive.
Yeah, exactly. I have two or three friends. I know at least two, but I think a third that bought 40K when they were both or all three getting into it. They were like, "Bro, you got to get into this with us." And I was like, "I don't have the money to drop on a starter set." And now it's been like at least 3 years, and I've checked back with them, and only one of them has actually set up and painted their figurines, and the other two have just the model sets sitting in their closet. And I'm like, wait, so you spent like $300 and haven't built your army? And they're like, oh yeah, I just haven't had time. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm glad I didn't spend money to get into this.
Yeah, I want to get people into old World of Darkness. I'm not giving White Wolf my money. But in order to do that, I need to get my books back from a buddy of mine from the military, and those books are currently in Wyoming.
Oh, geez. Shipping costs won't be that bad, honestly.
No.
They're books. They're books. You can send them as media mail.
Oh yeah, that's right. We can play 40K on Tabletop Simulator.
Dude, yes. Oh man, I'm looking forward to my PC. But like, if you want those books back, by the way, just have him send them as media mail, and it'll cut out most of the shipping cost.
40K is a lifestyle. You work hard to buy the models and make children to work to buy more models.
Matthias,
Hey,
you're a beautiful
there.
man. You're a beautiful man. All right, hey, let's finish this video because I need to go.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of black people and brown people, they don't understand.
Stop
that, like,
calling them that.
There are plenty of poor white people too. I am not privileged. And I said in one time in a video, I did say that I am somewhat privileged, but that's only because I didn't grow up in the ghetto. You know, that's only because I didn't grow up having to watch my back every single night before I go to bed.
Yeah, you grew up with your
But
parents
aside
paying
from
for
that,
everything.
I'm not privileged. Like, I have no special privileges. I've been broke for like a decade. Okay. I mean, how do you call that white privilege? I don't even remember the last time I had more than $100.
You live with your parents. You know what I did whenever I turned 18?
Being broke doesn't mean a thing when you live with your parents. You're broke because you don't go out and get a job, and you haven't even filed for unemployment. You probably should file for unemployment in this case just to support your family who's supporting you. And I'm against government handouts, but like, geez, dude, like, they're there. You should take them just to help your family. And you're like, oh, I've been broke all my life. Dude, freaking do something. Holy crap, your family's been taking care of you for 30 years. 30 years!
This man does not pay rent.
No, he does not. All right, so I moved out at 17, and then at 20, I think I moved to Georgia, and my parents were living in Georgia, and so I moved in with them. The first thing, they were really excited to see me. The first thing they did, though, is they were like, by the way, if you're going to stay here, it's going to be $200 a month, and you either have to be home by 9 or stay somewhere else until the morning. And I was like, all right. There's an established rule. And then I didn't like the whole until 9 thing because I wanted to be out and be with my friends. So after like a week and a half, 2 weeks, I moved out and got my own place. So I was only living with my parents for a couple weeks, gave them $200 for the month, since I was already there, and then left. This dude is not going through that. He's 35 or older at this point, and I guarantee you he's never paid anything. Holy crap, get a job or file for unemployment just so you can give your parents stuff for taking care. The parents are supposed to only be signing up for 18 years. Now, granted, every good parent is always signing up for a lifetime. There's no doubt of that. Because I guarantee you, anybody, anywhere that has good parents, if your life falls through and you come into hardship, they would love to have you back in the house. Because that's definitely the first thing that happens when you move out is they're like, I miss you. And it's the same thing with my parents. But my dad, yeah, exactly. But my dad was also like, hey, I'm so glad you're back. But you're an adult, so act like an adult. And I'm very thankful for that. I am very thankful for that.
You want to know what my mom and my stepdad did as soon as I graduated high school?
What?
They told me, go to college, join the military, or start paying rent.
Yeah, exactly. Here's your three options. Yeah, exactly, which are completely logical. Do you want to stay here? Well, then we're going to start charging you for the services. And I would assume that they also would be like my parents and not be like, you're going to pay a third, but instead be like, here's a small contribution that we'd like you to make.
It was, I pay for my own food because I had to buy my own groceries. They weren't going to, anything in the kitchen or in the fridge that was bought with their own money, they had all right to. I had no right to it.
Yep. Same with my parents.
And then I had to pay my own phone bill, my car, my
Same with my parents.
Insurance.
Yep.
But they made me pay $150 a month because
cheaper rent. You had cheaper rent than me.
The job that I had only paid $8.50 a week, or $8.50 an hour. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I okay, fair enough. The job I had at the time was like $9.25.
So every 2 weeks I was bringing home maybe $500 after taxes.
Yeah, I was at 800. I was making like about 800 every 2 weeks, so I was making 1,600 a month, and so they only wanted 200 a month to pay for the cost, but then everything else like gas, insurance, whatever, all those other stuff. It's like that's all on you, and then you're gonna give us $200. And I was like, well, okay, well at that point, if you're also establishing you have to be home by 9, otherwise don't come home. I was like, well, let me just move somewhere else.
Also, I had to be home by midnight on weekdays, but I could stay out however late I wanted.
Oh, well, look at you with all your white privilege.
Oh, yeah. But no, then it changed over. My work schedule changed over to where I was working through the night. So I'd get home as soon as they were leaving for work.
Oh, well, that works. Yeah. I mean, if I had an overnight graveyard shift, that it would have never been an issue. For sure.
Don't ever fucking work at a call center. It's garbage.
Dude, you're absolutely right. I have, and it was the worst. But I didn't. The call center I worked at was from home, and they actually sent me a computer.
I wish that was possible for what I was doing. I was working for Verizon prepaid.
Oh,
I can't
no.
tell you how many times I got cussed out because people wouldn't want to pay their freaking phone bills. And they're like, you can just put a credit on my account. No, make a fucking payment to the account because you haven't made a payment in 6 months and you've gotten credit every time you need to make a payment.
So at this point, you just need to do it. Please, thank you. You've stretched past our forgiveness. Yeah, I worked for Microsoft, so the majority of my phone calls were I need to reset my email. But then I also had a lot of phone calls that were I don't like my gamer tag, and then those people would cuss me out because I'd be like, well, you just got to start a new account, and they'd be like, but what about my gamer achievements? You know, what about my achievement score and all my
Oh
save
yeah.
data? And I'm like, there's nothing at all I can do about that. So you're just gonna have to make a new account, and then they'd get mad at me. And I'm like,
And
dude, this is
then they
not my
finally
fault.
implemented, and then Microsoft finally implemented. Oh yeah, you can change your gamer tag.
Yeah, well, no, you can change your gamer tag. It just you only get 3 free changes in a year or
Oh
something like that.
yeah, then
But
it's paid.
yeah, but at the time it wasn't. It was that you have your gamer tag. If you want a different gamer tag, you can pay us. But then later, after I quit, they changed it to the 3 a year. So I got a
Also,
lot of people mad at me.
yes, we went out at night. That might be a bit hard for you with all the crime.
Okay, so the problem, so I did a lot of jobs where I was, okay, so the biggest one, I'll just use the biggest one, is I worked at Taco Bell, and I was the closer. So I
Yeah,
got
you
off
told me
work.
horror stories to never eat the what was it? It was not the beef, it was
I'm
the
not,
chicken.
no, beans. It's the beans.
Uh,
I'm not gonna go into detail here because we're on camera and being streamed, and I've actually, no joke, had Taco Bell show up in the middle of my live streams when I'm uh, this seriously has happened whenever I'm bad mouthing them and their policies and like how dirty the stores were and stuff. All of a sudden I had 2 or 3 different Taco Bell accounts show up to like monitor what I was saying. So I'm not going to go into detail here. No, this seriously happened. So I'm not going to go into detail, but yeah, I definitely say don't eat the beans and don't eat the beef. Chicken and steak are probably okay. I don't really know, but beans and beef should be off the menu. But anyways, so yeah, while I was working for Taco Bell, I'd get off around 3 or 4 a.m. The problem with that, because yes, like the last comment said, is you can do stuff after dark. Um, I need to go get new tires. Well, everyone's closed. I need to go get my tags renewed. Everyone's closed. I need to renew my license. Everyone's closed. I need to renew my insurance or talk about new insurance policies. Everyone's closed. Working third shift is the worst, especially when you're working with no days off. Or only Sunday off, when even if you have the entire day, everyone's closed. Okay? So third shift gets screwed at every turn. My only day off was Sunday. My current only day off is Sunday. And guess what you can do on Sundays? Nothing.
well, that's not true.
What can I do on Sunday? Inform me.
You can play Time Stories.
Yeah, I can do fun stuff. Can I get anything done that's important? Can I go to the office to pay my rent? No.
Yeah.
Can I
no,
go
you
pay
can't
my
do it
internet
anymore.
bill? No. Can I get my tires changed? No. Can I get my Cadillac converted checked? No. You can't do anything important on
Wait.
Sunday.
Your Cadillac converter? Don't you mean your catalytic converter?
Oh, is it catalytic? Oh yeah, my bad.
Cadillac is a car.
Yeah, Cadillac is a car. Yeah, catalytic. Okay, yeah, good point. That's the first time I've heard it called that. I'm from the South. Shut up.
I'm from the South, but I also
Shut
grew up
up!
in a auto body shop.
Yeah, and I grew up in an area where we don't check those, and you grew up in an area where you do. Okay? We've actually, I was reading the paper today, and we've actually had an increased amount of crimes where catalytic converters have been stolen off of cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I read that in the paper today. Yeah, and it's spread up to where I live. That's becoming a huge thing because we don't check them here. We don't. They're not checked. There's no time ever. There's not even shops anywhere to check them because it's just not a thing.
Real quick, can't you get Japanese cat girls? No.
What?
No.
What is that? Because yes, absolutely. I wish I had thrown that into my rant. As I'm on third shift. Can you get Japanese cat girls? No, you can't. It's third shift. There's no time. They're closed. Japanese cat girls are closed, especially on Sundays.
Proton over here. Finish this video.
Hey, you're right. Let's finish this video. We can do it before Sunday. We can do it right now.
Okay, bro. So guys, some of you guys really need to just wake up, and I'm just gonna be honest. Some of you guys, you need to stop being a racist because that's what you're doing by judging people like me.
Coming from you.
I've never had privilege growing up. Trust me. I grew up with a bunch of stupid, rich, spoiled white kids. And because of that, I never really had much friends. I just hung out with the freaks and geeks.
That's why white kids. Everyone needs to stop being racist. I never had friends
because of spoiled rich white kids
that I grew up with. I grew up with a bunch of spoiled rich white kids. Everyone needs to stop being racist.
Jared, what is your issue?
Jared, you're crazy, man. This dude's insane. This is insane. He just got off a rant about how Jews, blacks, browns are ruining everything, and it says y'all need to stop being racist because I grew up with a bunch of rich white kids.
No. He didn't say stop being racist. He stopped being erasist, as Proton says. Also, yes, we have tons of tangents on this. As everybody else.
No, this is the show. Have you not been here before? This is definitely the show. It's a ton of tangents.
I think this is Matthias's first time.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the show. There's a ton of tangents. You should back it up 10 seconds. I want to hear him say, "Stop being a eraser."
Rich, spoiled white kids, and because of that, I never really had much friends. I just hung out with freaks and geeks. Okay. That's who I hung out with, man.
Freaks and geeks.
I didn't want to hang out with the stupid, stuck-up white kids. And, the blacks and browns, they're very close-knit. And
they don't
really have, from what I saw, they didn't have a lot of white friends. And so that's just how it was, man. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up.
Oh, no, stop this.
I still
stop this crap.
What?
Okay. So the whole thing of these white kids, these blah blah, and then these black and brown kids that didn't have a bunch of white friends growing up. It's like, well, did you consider talking and interacting with them? Because I gotta say, with the public,
probably didn't.
I didn't go to public school, but I went to a private school, and I had plenty of black and brown friends using his language. Because there was no issue. Children have nothing. Children don't understand racism at all. It's literally, these are the kids in my school. And so I had other students in my school. And when it was time because, you can't talk during class. But when it was time for lunch and recess, it was literally everyone in my class, I'm going to interact with you. And I made friends with a lot of people. And I don't see where I don't get what he's talking about. It sounds like it's his issue. It sounds like he has segregated himself during these situations to only have white anti-Jesuit friends
that are poor.
Yeah, and they're all poor. Even though he said he was he wasn't poor. He wasn't poor, but all of his friends are poor. Because they wouldn't hang out with the black or brown people.
He also said that he was poor, but he was lower middle class.
I was not poor. I was lower middle class. I wasn't poor. I was poor after I left my family. I wasn't poor when I lived with my family. I was lower middle class. So this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. He's being extremely racist, and then he's saying all the colors stick to themselves. Yeah, and anti-Semitic. Well, that's racist. What are you talking about? That's racist. And all the colors stick to themselves because I didn't interact with anybody else. So clearly, it's because everyone else is racist.
But this is how to be a real conservative.
Yeah, this is how to be a real conservative. This is, oh my god, this is terrible. I hope nobody sees this that is like not conservative, because this is a great example. You know, like from another party's perspective, this is a great example to be like, see how conservatives are super racist and well off and rich, and they only live with their family and blah 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 and this and that. It's like, I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, yeah, you make a good point. You make a good point, Antifa. This guy does suck. White people are awful. If they were all Jared. Oh, did I mention he's a pedophile? Because there's that too.
Oh yeah, that yeah. You mentioned that in the beginning, but
yeah, just want to mention that again. So yeah, a real conservative.
I don't like this man.
No, you shouldn't like this man. No one should like this man. Watching his videos and subscribing to his channel, as I have, is not from liking this man. It's from finding him fascinating.
Okay, we got a couple seconds left.
People feel alienated to this very day. And a lot of people, they don't know that struggle because they're not real. They're not part of that life. And all I can say is, good for you. I am glad you didn't have to experience what I did, because it really was not fun. And like I said, this is something that I still experience this very day.
Living with your family.
I am, I consider myself a real man, a real alpha male.
Yes, and he's an alpha male conservative.
I have an easy life. I still have my pride, and that means a lot to me. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Those are just my thoughts on what it means to be a real conservative. Peace.
What a man, dude! I'm a real alpha male conservative. I'm a real man, an alpha male conservative. Oh my god, I love it.
Oh my god,
I freaking love it.
I'm an alpha male.
Jared, Jared, shut up. People don't know what the struggle is like to live with your parents for 35 years and not have any income. And be poor on an individual basis, but not on a family basis, because clearly I am doing well off considering everything I have in my room. I have a drum set and a bass and a bunch of toys. So clearly, you don't know what it's like to be poor. By the way, I'm an alpha male Chad conservative.
Yeah.
But I would join Antifa at the drop of the hat if it was realistic to me.
Also, if they weren't posers.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. He called them posers. Antifa, they're just a bunch of posers. I would totally join them if they weren't posers. Dude, Jared's crazy. Jared is freaking crazy.
Oh my god. I have no words to describe this man.
I like the comment. Alphas use their shirts and clean their rooms. I agree entirely. An alpha would be wearing a shirt and clean his room, and not okay. I don't want to stereotype. Not even stereotype. I don't want to just say alphas are this way. The end when it comes to what I'm about to say. But so generally speaking, alphas are also not chubby and living with their parents. Generally.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah, generally.
The only time that it is okay to live with your parents is if you're in between homes and you're still paying them rent.
Yeah, you might be right on that. I was going to say the only extremely alpha dude I've ever met who lived with his family is because he and I worked together for a few months. And then he said, unfortunately, I'm leaving. I'm moving to a different state because I'm going to move in with my family to take care of them before they die. And he was also slightly overweight. And I was like, yeah, that's an alpha male. That's totally an alpha male. To be like, yeah, okay, so I've got to actually relocate my entire family to take care of my parents before they die.
That is a great thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, if my mom and my stepdad were on their deathbeds, I'd move back in with them just to take care of them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you lived. Exactly. And he had to move multiple states. And get this, he went first. Because, like, he already had a house and everything. Like, so his family was completely established. And then his mom and dad were getting to the point that they couldn't even go to the grocery store. And so he was like, well, I'm going to move up there. I'm going to take care of them. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to save up the money. And then I'm going to move all of you here with me into a new house, not their house, a house that's close so that I can still live with my parents and my family will live nearby. And so he's giving up the whole, like, I live with my wife and kids in order to take care of his parents before they pass away. I'm just going to take, like, so I think it was something like, he was like, it's going to take about a half a year. Like, so he moved up there a half a year before he could move the rest of his family up in order to get the money necessary to buy a house, move all of them. And then he still was like, yeah, and I'm going to live with my parents and they're going to live in another house. And then until my parents pass away, and then we'll all be back together 100% of the time. And it's like, that's an alpha male move. That's definitely an alpha male move.
Yeah. Inquisitor agrees. The guy you described as a Giga Chad.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, the guy was awesome. One of the best people I've ever met in my life. I wish I was still in contact with him, but unfortunately I never got his phone number and I don't have social media. So I have no way to contact him.
Yeah. Man, it's great what people can do for their family, especially if they actually care about their family.
Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing. He wasn't a member of Antifa.
Yeah, no. But
he wasn't a communist. He wasn't a socialist.
That was an interesting video, Austin.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad you got to see that. Because, yeah, it was. And honestly, I watched it all the way through once and then was like, oh, dude, Cyrax's going to love this. And then we watched it again. I noticed, and thanks to you, noticed even more problems with it. Where the first time I watched it, I was like, this is wrong. Like, I just recognized on like a general basis that it's like, well, this is not right. This is not what a real conservative is.
Also, I bookmarked that song, and I'm going to put visuals over it. That way it has something.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
The song that you linked that we played at the
beginning. Yeah. It's such a good song. I forgot. I was supposed to tell you what it means. Do you have any idea of what it means?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Have you ever played Far Cry?
Yes.
Have you played Far Cry 3?
No.
Oh, okay.
I played God, what was the Far Cry on the PlayStation 2?
Probably it was like, because there was Far Cry, but then there was also like Far Cry
Instinct?
Yeah, that sounds right. Instinct.
That's
there might be another name. There might be another name for it too. There was like 3 or 4 versions of the first Far Cry.
I will recommend this video for the Smudcast. Do it.
Oh jeez. I would also like to get their take on this. Primal. Far Cry Primal. That was one version of it. Yeah, Primal. But there was like 3 or 4 versions of the original Far Cry. And then Far Cry 2 was, I think, the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But yeah. But no, that whole song is it's about Far Cry 3.
Oh wow.
It's it's about the main character and the transformation he goes throughout the story.
I
Yep.
need to re-listen to it since I have it bookmarked and I have the link. So
Which I love it, because if you have no idea what it's about, it definitely sounds like there's a really deep meaning to it. But then as soon as it's like, oh yeah, it's about this video game I played, then it's like, wait, what? It's just that's it. Which I mean doesn't necessarily take away that it has a deep meaning, but it definitely changes the context. You know?
most definitely.
Yeah, because
Also,
it's like, yeah.
Inquisitor saying that he's going to be on the panel as well for the Smudcast. He wants to be on it.
Okay. Is that a thing? Do they take on random
he's
people?
part of it. He's part of the Smudcast.
Wait, who? Who's part of the Smudcast?
Inquisitor.
Oh, that's dope. I didn't know you had such high up connections on your low tier channel.
I frequent the Discord a lot, and
Well, that's good. You should keep doing that.
Have conversation with people.
Yeah, I would love to get somewhere that's a little bit bigger. Not even for channel promotion, but just because when it comes to like Friday Night Tights, Smudcast,
Also,
Adam and Sitch. Nice, that's what's up. But like when it comes to these people that I really enjoy listening to their discussions, I'm like, man, I wish I was there to give my opinion as well. You know, so like it's not even like a promote my channel kind of thing. It really is just like I wish I could interject here and tell you what I think. So it would be great one day to get big enough to get recognized by these people to be allowed on their shows.
That'd be nice.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. You know what would be better than that? Holy crap, I just realized. You know what would be better than that? We get so big that they ask us to come on.
Yeah. That'd
They're
be
like,
fun.
we want to be on the Sisyphus experience, whatever it's called. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Sisyphus.
Sisyphus. Yeah. It gets to that point that all of a sudden, you know, Quarter Black Garrett is sending you DMs and it's like, you should have me come. I want to come on your show. And it's like, I don't know. Do you have enough followers? It'd be so good.
One day.
Yeah, one day. Yeah. Either way, it's still whatever. It doesn't matter. It's so much fun to just do this kind of random crap. Anyway, so I do want to promote the Bear Thing Show, the best channel on YouTube, bigger than any other channel out there. We're like 5 subscribers away from 50, so we could definitely use the support to get up to 50. That's our first goal, is to hit 50. And I really freaking love it. It's mostly a podcast where my buddy and I sit down and talk about random stuff. The last episode was about human zoos, which you really enjoy.
That was a weird topic, by the way.
The dark history of human zoos. Yeah, it was a weird topic. Better than that, though, is that the next 4 episodes, I think, so over this next month from now, we're going to be doing a quiz show where I quiz Jam Sully about how racist he is.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to figure out how white he is.
Oh, you're using that metric. Got it.
Yeah. So I didn't tell him. He has no idea what's going on. So spoiler for anybody, because it's not spoiled for Jam Sully because it's already recorded. So spoilers is I pulled up the Black History Museum from the Smithsonian display, what whiteness means. And then I asked him his opinions on all of them. I literally asked him every single question all the way through on what his opinions were. And by the end of it, I determined he was white.
when he's not.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely not. Yeah. No, he's definitely not white. But based on his opinion, which is really interesting, it'll be really like even with me spoiling that it turns out that he's white. It's probably some of
it's
our
his
most
takes on-
intriguing
it's his
conversation.
takes that are going to be intriguing.
Yes, yeah. It's one of our best because like it opened up a lot of topics of discussion where I'd ask him one of the questions, and he wouldn't just have like there were no questions that were just yes or no. There was always explanations for them, and then we would get into a discussion about it. And so it was actually probably one of our best things. But that's also why it took like, huh?
How many weeks out?
I'm pretty sure the first part comes out next week, I think. If not, in 2 weeks is the first part. And then it is going to take like a month to get through the whole questionnaire.
Yeah, because y'all haven't been able to sit down with one another in a while, and we're able to just record.
Yeah, well, no, we recorded it all in one sitting. The thing is that we upload in like between 25 and 30 minutes long episodes. So breaking it all down, it is going to take about a month to release every part.
Yeah, and Inquisitor also put out that they accept anyone from the Discord to be on the panel.
Oh, that's cool.
If they want to be on it and are knowledgeable about it, then yeah, you can be on it.
Oh, okay. So if for some reason they covered something of my limited knowledge. then I could potentially get on. That would actually be pretty cool. And then also probably be really good for my YouTube channel of 45 subscribers.
I love Wisp mainly because she goes on these huge tangents that just they're like 45 to hour and a half long tangents.
Oh geez, I didn't know that. Like I said, I've only seen the 2 episodes that were them covering the video we covered.
Yep.
About how Halo is anti Islam. Was that? I think that's basically what it was, right? Is that it's like Halo's anti-Islam?
Halo is fascist and
I mean, there was a lot. There was a lot that went into
There's no religion, but they're also all Christians at the same time.
Oh yeah, it was great.
It made no sense,
dude. That was actually probably the best YouTube video I've ever watched.
Oh. I also love Wisp tangents. I really do. I talk to Wisp as often as I can on Discord whenever I see her on.
I'm just saying, I would love to top that video because even this last video, I don't feel like top the takes in the Halo video we watched. Like that's been the best thing I've seen. And I would love to finally get another video that is worse so that I can be even more thrilled because that's been the best one so far.
You know how hard it was to find that video?
I have no idea, but it was great. I'm so glad you found it.
Like, I did Lord Captain Commander Dunn levels of searching for that video.
I don't understand the reference, but I appreciate the work.
Like, Dunn is known for finding some of the most obscure and rage-inducing videos.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Nobody knows how he does it.
You definitely did that.
Yeah. But, it also gave me brain damage as well.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Wisp tangents are approaching 90 degrees. Yeah, just about. But we're gonna call it here. You got to go to bed. It's been about 3 hours.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do. Do you want to watch a funny video as we leave?
Sure, send it to me.
Okay. So this is another song to end it out on. It's a. All right, I'm gonna put it in the chat. I don't know.
Now I know who to point my rage at whenever I see a Maggie May Fish video.
Yeah, that's great. So this will be our goodbye. It's a meme piano song. So it's someone wrote a piano song. It's really old actually, with a ton of views. But something I've realized recently is things that I know, because I take it for granted. I really do. I take it for granted that I think that the stuff that I know is stuff other people know and are aware of. And so I'm starting to act like, no, you don't know what I'm talking about until, you say you do. So this will be the first example of that. Is here's this crazy thing that I found, that potentially, since it has like over 1 million views, you should know of, or anybody watching should know of, but maybe they don't. And so this is a meme piano song, and we'll end it out on this. And dude, it was a lot of fun, and I look forward to listening to this song with you.
All right, let's go. Later.
Bye, everybody.